The only thing a soldier wants after being discharged is simply to be able to see their family again. But Yeonwoo's father lost everything just because of one wrong decision of his. A year ago, many strange anomalies suddenly appeared in the world. Those with natural talent could awaken their abilities and become awakened. And his younger brother Cha Jeon-woo was lucky enough to be chosen, but now he held his brother's photograph in a daze, the one who went missing 5 years ago to become an awakened. What his brother left behind were only relics hinting at how to awaken. Moreover, outside the current world, his brother had discovered another dimension, where there are dwarves. Attribute identification systems and special abilities. Yeonwoo remembered the memories of his brother smiling unconsciously when he received the watch. The watch on his hand suddenly activated. Wasn't it broken? Before he could recover from his surprise that the watch was still working, a voice suddenly emanated, sent to him, the one who will continue this journey, making him jump up. When I hold this, I've probably disappeared from the world. He was too surprised to speak. This is not an illusion. But there was nothing in the watch. That familiar voice continued to emanate. I'm sorry. I'm sure you've faced many difficulties because of me. I just wanted to find a way to cure Mom. I thought I would be home soon, but in the end I got swept away. October 9th, 2013. I received a strange message. The content was too bizarre for spam. It didn't mention anything other than, do you want to participate? Usually I would ignore it, but the sight of Mom frail and hospitalized appeared in my mind. I told myself to join, hoping it was true. October 12th, 2013. This is not a dream. I am sure it is real. I know for sure that goblins and dwarves exist. That is the world where orcies and dragons are. At the very center is the sun god's tower. It's rumored that if you pass the obelisk, you will become a god. However, I am only interested in the panacea in the tower called Elixir. October 28th, 2013. I formed a like-minded group and started climbing the tower. However, compared to the real world, this place is no joke. November 9th, 2013. I decided to leave home. I only had to struggle for half a year. That's how I cut off all contact with the real world. December 1, 2013, my group was named Artia, always ranked first in all aspects. September 7, 2014, conquest progress was slower than expected, so it might take a few more years. November 11, 2014, conflicts with high-level guilds broke out, hindering the group's conquest progress. May 31, 2015, we could not reach an agreement. War was about to break out. May 2, 2015, the guild alliance facing us collapsed. April 4, 2016, I fell in love with someone. The sounds enveloped him as if he were immersed in that scene. Images seemed to appear in his subconscious. May 19, 2016, another battle erupted. January 2, 2017, the war still continued. Everyone was tired. July 6, 2017, a traitor appeared. Discord within the guild was ignited. Everyone began to suspect each other. July 1st, 2017, my body gradually weakened. I was poisoned. October 30th, 2017, half of the members left the guild. We kept losing battles. My body was getting weaker. November 1, 2017, my lover stabbed me in the heart and left. My body began to rot. December 30th, 2017, I miss you. Hyung, February. 2018, I am the only one left in Artia. How did everything turn out like this? May 28, 2018, I obtained the elixir, but could not send it home because I was surrounded by enemies. After that, I learned that there was only one person I could trust, but I couldn't reveal weaknesses to them. That's why I left this message. I know that if you hear it, you will get the elixir and bring it home to Mom Hyung. He clutched the watch in his hand as if he could not imagine how much his little brother had gone through. He caressed the watch to hear that sound again. To you who will continue this journey, I hope someday you will hear these words. Before long night fell, he suddenly awoke when a sound emanated. Confirming power inheritance. A strong stream of energy surged into his body. Energy, this is the power of my brother and those in other worlds. The terrifying power wrapped around him, pulling him strongly. Before his eyes now was the image of his little brother. To my brother who will read this message, the scene of him falling crying alone, with the knife that stabbed him and his image covered in blood. Cutting off those images was that strange sound. Awakening? Complete. Inheritance process? Unsuccessful. Please complete the inheritance after your body is perfected. Progress. 5%. Your current state is incomplete. You have been upgraded. Your aptitude has been detected and skills have been automatically added. You can only register your account at Obelisk. Still surprised, a small information board was floating in front of him. Now I understand exactly what happened to my brother. Why he disappeared for 5 years and left this message for me. If it's all true, by joining that world, I swear I'll get revenge on all of you. The anger and pain he had endured for so long seemed to be erupting completely. Is this a status window? This is quite similar to a game. He was curious about this status window and thought that after awakening, his body would be perfected, but I feel something is still missing. Wisdom attribute function always active in all situations. You will be immune to mind control or brainwashing. He secretly thought that's not bad at all. He continued reading. Dragon's Eye has the ability to detect truth. You can foresee enemy actions. Cha Yeon-woo said that he met a dragon named Kaladas and made a contract with it on the 11th floor. These are its remnants. The next ability is Enhanced Senses. Your senses are significantly increased. I think my senses are upgraded and it works very well. His gaze was intently fixed on the last ability. But the last one was even more remarkable, that is the ability to see through. It's all because of you, isn't it? He looked at the watch, his brother's only remaining memento. All right, let the journey begin. He clutched the watch in his hand, like a vow as well as his determination to avenge his brother. He just wanted to find the elixir and disappear quickly, but he was not sure if he could do that. A sound came from his phone. Sergeant, what the hell is your son saying? You don't want to have dinner together anymore, so what's wrong? Are you busy? What if he comes back? Without letting the other person speak further, he immediately said, I am sorry, then quickly hung up. For that reason, I quit my current job, I sold my house, burned my military uniform, I bought a backpack with clothes and extra food, a few knives and a personal first aid kit. Pulling his hat down as if to cover his face, he secretly thought I wanted more guns and some explosives, but if I bought more, I would be questioned by the police, making things more difficult. Walking in the park, he still kept his thoughts clear in his head to stay alert. It seems like it has been a week. Players who start late will have an advantage. According to how late it is, an appropriate test round will be given. If you pass other players, you can accumulate points and also have hidden fragments that players can utilize. That place should appear now. He held the watch in his hand, spinning it skillfully. Suddenly, black smoke began to appear, forming a small vortex. When the smoke dissipated, the door appeared. When the door was slowly opening, his heart was a mess. I swear I will show you what revenge is for daring to touch my brother. From now on, I am Cha Yeon-woo. When the door was fully opened, a dazzling light shone on his face, making him cover it with his hand. A notification appeared. You have entered the 0th floor where the test takes place. Opening his eyes again, it was a path with no end in sight. I have truly arrived. Very similar to what I saw in my memories. The tower is a test. Here players will have the opportunity to become a god. To climb the tower, players must prove that they have enough ability. This is where there will be a guide. But this place has people who harmed his brother. The images of his brother being stabbed once again appeared in his mind. Witnessing it is truly painful. How painful, wait for me, I will be there soon. His eyes gradually became cold. He sat down and rummaged through his backpack for a white mask that only revealed his eyes and continued his thoughts. To advance to the next floors, I think I should achieve high scores and complete the test well. First, with high scores, I can take the top 1 spot and get more powerful hidden fragments. I need to collect as many valuable things as possible to become stronger. Before starting the war, I need to be brave and stronger. He picked up the mask and put it on his face. Then a blue vortex suddenly appeared above, and a voice echoed from above his head. He put on an old man's laugh. We have a guest here. I thought I would not meet you. When he landed, he was constantly vigilant, tightly gripping 2 knives in his hands and carefully defending himself. He babbled on, it's no big deal to my heart, but if you do that, I will be hurt. Let's put the knife aside and talk, bro. Very pleased to meet you. I am the guardian of the 0th floor as well as the guide Ibil Kera. This is a fated meeting. You should applaud, shouldn't you? He laughed, looking truly mocking. He continued to ask, do you believe my words? He immediately replied, the guide's advice can be ignored, but it's very good to remember it. He continued babbling, it seems you know who I am. I thought you were shy because you're wearing a mask. You must be quite similar to someone I met before, so we're quite easy to talk to. After a long spiel like that, he finally deigned to explain the test to him. The test is arranged into different levels from A to G. Each level has different environments and different tests. Within a certain period, your score will be determined by how you complete the floors. He asked, curiously, what are the benefits of a high score? Without thinking, he continued, the higher your score, the better your reward. I'm sure I've explained this to you already. The strange laughter still didn't stop him from asking the question. How much time do I have? He replied. You will have 1 month. It all depends on you. However, we started last week, what to do, and how to start the next round. He was also quite curious because he was a week behind the others. He thought, the leading group, perhaps they have gone as far as possible so far that no one can catch up to them. I am really looking forward to this. This time he looked at him with a rather serious expression and then continued to speak. If you want to complete the test, best you should form a group of 3 to 5 people. But if it's just you alone, you will get a higher score, won't you? He looked at him with glowing eyes and sharp teeth, as if he wanted to devour him. The tower is where the player's work is managed. If your contribution is high, your bonus points will be higher, so you don't need to worry. Although he said that, he just replied, I understand, and continued to start the engine. He stood solemnly thinking. Usually players will use one of 2 methods. They either trust their abilities too much and die carelessly, or they become useless in a group. Seeing that he seemed ready, he immediately spoke. If you want, I will start immediately. The status window notifications kept popping up. The test on the 0 floor will begin. Content players, those who want to become gods, those who want to conquer the tower. You must prove yourself worthy. Objective, you must achieve a high score within the specified time. You have 549 hours, 37 minutes, 88 seconds left. The numbers on the status window began to count down. He then calmly stepped across the line to start the test. The status bar window continued to pop up, announcing, you have chosen to wear all gear, solve or break all traps. Just as he stepped in, an arrow whizzed past his arm like the wind blood oozing from his arm. His memories had warned him about this type of trap. The location and activation method of these traps were not mentioned, so the warning was not a great help. He advanced forward quickly, bringing his backpack up to block, agilely dodging the arrows that were whizzing towards him. The backpack took the arrows in front, as if at vital points. A few arrows penetrated the backpack but were stopped. He thought, almost died. Perhaps I should stick to the wall and reduce contact as much as possible. He knew to block himself with his backpack and lean his back against the wall to minimize exposed areas as much as possible. In a moment of carelessness, an arrow whizzed towards his leg. Everything began to fall into chaos. Cha Yun-woo stood silently in the dark tunnel. A notification appeared reminding him that an intense pain was invading his body. You have been affected by the stun effect. The notification continuously reminded him, the cold-blooded trait has helped you maintain your composure. Stun effect has been removed. You have increased your pain resistance by 1 level. Cha Yun-woo panted as he thought, I know it's dangerous, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. If things keep going like this, I'll go crazy. He clutched the arrow embedded in his body. Then he decisively pulled it out forcefully. Then he trembled, used a flame, and began to treat the wound. The notification continued to remind him, your wound is bleeding severely, your body is burning. The cold-blooded trait has helped you maintain your composure. The stun effect has been removed. You have developed bleeding resistance. Cha Yun-woo continued to grope his way through the darkness. As he walked, he pondered, when the arrow was shot at me, it was probably already prepared, and there was also a signal, though very weak, still enough to realize I needed to calculate the time precisely. He came up with a solution. Finding a few arrows with the naked eye alone is difficult enough. It's pitch black. I must pay attention to the gears as they move. A perfect moment to realize where the name and trajectory are too. In that brief moment, I must hear the exact sound it makes. He closed his eyes using his enhanced senses. The notifications appeared. Enhanced senses. Skill has been activated. Your hearing has been elevated. Enhanced senses skill has been upgraded to 0.8%. In this dark environment, his enhanced senses began to work. Cha Yun-woo listened to the sounds around him, and at this very moment, he quietly uttered, found it. Cha Yun-woo quickly swung his sword towards where he detected it. The sword plunged into the ceiling. At this moment, the ceiling collapsed and countless arrows rained down. He smiled, looking at his achievement, then thought class. He continued to rush forward in the rain of arrows flying from all directions. He realized that depending on how he handled the arrows, the difference in status increased, dodging blue arrows to increase speed. Just then, the notification displayed information confirming his hypothesis. Your dexterity has increased by 1 point. He continued to make a deduction, dodging red arrows to increase strength. The notification sounded again. Your strength has increased by 1 point. At this moment, no longer dodging arrows, Cha Yun-woo held out his arm to catch the yellow arrow flying towards him, because he guessed correctly. Yellow arrows would increase endurance, and the notification confirmed it. Your endurance has increased by 1 point. Yun-woo looked at his information on the notification board player. Cha Yun-woo traits: cold-blooded strength 19, agility 19, endurance 14, mana 21, dragon eye 0, 0% enhanced senses, 4, 3% long-range vision, 0, 0%. Then he thought to himself, the more I accumulate, the easier it will be to succeed with this kind of thing. Is there any other place to grind levels like this? Yun-woo wiped the blood flowing from his chin with his hand, then annoyedly thought, the only thing that bothers me is that I can't increase my mana points. Even so, I still have the opportunity to easily raise the stats I want. Yun-woo's image appeared on the observation screen. Ibilkara crossed his arms and commented, things are getting more and more interesting, aren't they? I don't think I've seen anyone like this before, Strange. The people in Group A are still more attractive to me than the ones in Group E. He laughed with amusement. This guy looks promising. He continued to intently observe him on the screen, then commented, even if he has enough ability, he still has to struggle with that much danger. But if he is smart enough and surpasses the rest. Ibn Kara was delighted and full of anticipation. It seems there are many more fun scenes to come, even in this guide session. After saying that, he couldn't help but laugh delightedly. The notification reminded him, you have reached the final point. Yun-woo checked his level from the player status board. Cha Yun-woo traits: cold-blooded strength 29, agility 33, endurance 30, mana 21, dragon eye 0% enhanced senses 8, 3% long-range vision 0%. He thought, except for mana points, other skills have increased significantly. Achieving such results in 1 day is not bad at all. He suddenly realized that it wasn't just that. At this moment, he reevaluated himself. His strength, speed, endurance, and destructive power had increased significantly. Yun-woo pushed the door ahead. A notification appeared along with a wave of golden light enveloping him. The healing process for your wounds will begin now. The golden light enveloped Yun-woo's entire body from head to toe. He was surprised, wondering to himself, does it restore stamina? After being healed, he began to feel gradually relaxed and thought that he finally had a place to rest. At that moment, he seemed to fall asleep instantly. He didn't know for how long. He vaguely opened his eyes. He wondered if he had fallen asleep. A blurred figure came into his sight. The person greeted him, hello, making Yun-woo, who had just woken up, jump back a long distance. 1,000 questions appeared in his head. Who is this guy? Surely the enhanced senses skill is still active, so why couldn't I sense his presence? Could it be he tried to probe a merchant? The person joyfully exclaimed, it's a relief that you know who I am. I like you. My brother customer, allow me to introduce myself. My name is A, just a traveling merchant. Occasionally, merchants will appear at the end and provide players with what they need. Of course, not for free. He snapped his fingers. The merchant offers everything from common items like food, water, healing items, skill books, even valuable artifacts. He opened a list of abundant items and then offered after coming this far. Do you need anything, sir? I am a merchant of all things that exist in this world. If you need anything, just let me know. Yun-woo seriously scrolled through A's item list, which contained items like Medusa's poison S, golden goat horn, Tiamat's left eye S, all rare items in the world. He thought about his current situation, but then thought again, what do I have enough money to buy these things? He considered, I am not skilled enough to use them yet. I'll just focus on the essentials for now. Yun-woo quietly uttered to himself, I found it. When he found something on A's list, it was a return ticket. A return ticket. It has the function of allowing you to return anywhere you want. He asked, how do I pay for these items? A replied, with status points. Sir, just pay enough. We are all conscientious. We only sell at extremely reasonable prices. After hearing those words, Yun-woo secretly cursed in his heart. 1 bottle of mineral water for 2 strength points. Did a dog bite your conscience? Yanwu seriously spoke up. I have something to trade. A immediately smiled. Yes, sir. But Yanwu's next words made A unable to smile any longer. With all the status points I have accumulated from Floor A, he dropped a shocking statement to exchange for a ticket that could reset Floor A. Wondered, so you want to buy a return ticket, Yanwu confirmed. Yes. A was a little surprised and said, I do have that, but I've never seen anyone interested in it before. Usually, after surviving Floor, players would ask for things that could make the next part easier for them, and not something that would make them go through Floor A once again. Before those words, Yanwu did not explain in detail, but only said, I still have some important things to do, so I need to go back there. Adjudged what an interesting person, he uttered. If you say so, then, the method of using the ticket is very simple. Tear the ticket at any point you want. You will be teleported back to the starting position. A said goodbye, I have to go now. I hope we meet again. Having said that, he disappeared like a wisp of smoke. A notification board immediately appeared. All your stats on Floor A have been lost. After that notification, he immediately felt a change in his body. I felt my strength disappearing. Another notification appeared. You have successfully purchased X10 return tickets. A stack of tickets fell into his hand. He quickly tore one ticket. A dazzling light shone from the crack of the ticket. The light became increasingly blinding as if it wanted to envelop the entire space. Then it suddenly extinguished everything, plunged into endless darkness. At this moment, a notification appeared. This is the 0 floor, the beginning of the game. The familiar dark basement scene Yanwu had returned. A notification reminded him this is the tutorial floor, it will begin now. Yanwu was determined now I need to increase my stats as much as possible. Thinking that he rushed forward regardless. Based on his experience from the previous playthrough, he was familiar with overcoming arrows and obstacles. He wondered, is this the endpoint of Floor A? There is an empty space after overcoming the challenges. Yanwu took the time to analyze. I need to refine my senses through this iteration of Floor A. My attribute points seem to have increased quite a lot. Dragon's Eye. A skill that allows the player to borrow the eye of the ancient dragon, Calatus. To a certain extent to look into the truth, he recalled when I first activated it. I was shocked by what happened before my eyes. In the vision that Dragon's Eye grants everything, loses its color. The world consists only of black lines on a white background. It looks like a sketch on a white canvas. He wondered, can these eyes see through the outer layer and see everything inside, including people? Is this the Geon phenomenon that my brother mentioned? At this moment, a notification popped up. You have reached the final point. He looked at the notification board and thought, what an astonishing progress. Considering that I lost over 34 hours in the first challenge. He checked his stats board. Strength, 51. Endurance, 55. Agility, 56. Mana, 21. Dragon Eye, 2. 1% enhanced senses, 15. 1% far sight, 0. 0%. He assessed the stats have increased quite a lot now. I can confidently fight against most players, although I still find it difficult to catch up with those ahead. Thinking for a moment, he then urged himself, if I had started with those ahead, I would be in Section E by now. If I stay in Section A like this, I will never catch up to them. I should speed up to get a high rank. A notification reminded him, you have entered the boss room. He decided I need to clear Floor A and go to Floor B immediately. He ended his thoughts. Yanwu rushed forward like a gust of wind. A wave of attacks came. He agilely blocked and dodged continuously. Facing the overwhelming attacks, he immediately thought faster than initially expected. A notification immediately appeared. Strength increased by 1 point. He struck more decisively and urged himself, I can't afford to slow down here. But before Yanwu could continue his actions, the space suddenly shook violently. Cracks began to appear under his feet. The floor quickly split in two. Below were thousands of sharp spikes pointing straight up to the sky. Yanwu assessed the situation. If I fall down, I will die instantly. He decisively turned around. I can't die here. He used his flexibility and innate explosive power. He jumped over and landed on the opposite floor, narrowly escaping danger. A notification sounded just in time. Agility increased by 1 point. At the same time, there was movement on the ceiling. Yanwu calmly looked up. A fire exploded as if it wanted to devour everything. He quickly raised his hand to block, then swung his knife to counterattack. A notification appeared thanks to the cold-blooded trait you have fire resistance. Enhanced senses skill increased to 15.6%. Yeonwoo did not continue to confront it, but ran forward like the wind, leaving the fire behind as if it were chasing him. But hidden within that fire was a black shadow that was also relentlessly chasing behind him. Notifications continuously appeared. Agility has increased by 1 point. Endurance has increased by 1 point. Enhanced senses skill has been increased to 16.9%. Your stats have been upgraded. Your strength has been increased. Suddenly the black shadow punched him painfully in the stomach, making him scream. That punch made him stumble back a few steps, having to brace himself with his hands on the floor to stay upright. In this situation, Yeonwoo calmly looked closely at the opponent and deduced, This scarecrow feels like it's imitating players. My brother made a specific reference document for this scarecrow. Yeonwoo recalled his brother's analysis. Copper scarecrow. A scarecrow that mimics the movements and actions of players. It also has the ability to attack within a certain range. The actual bosses of Section A are not just ordinary scarecrows, but there are also 10 copper scarecrows behind them. They copy the actions of players and grasp their movements. Their bodies are as strong as hellstorms. Therefore, we were hindered by them for a long time. There are 2 ways to overcome them. One is to fight head-on. The other is, he murmured to himself, subdue them. He used Dragon's Eye. Immediately, everything around him seemed to lose color. Only black and white remained like sketches. And on the copper scarecrow, he saw a black spot in the middle of its chest. He wondered, is that its weakness? In just the blink of an eye, he rushed forward to attack that black spot. A player in the dark corner shouted, This copper scarecrow operates based on sensors. You have to find the sensor and destroy it. Yeonwoo was a little surprised by that sudden shout. He recalled, perhaps this is the person I saw earlier when my senses were enhanced. But he didn't stop. He thought to himself, I know these scarecrows move according to their sensors. While thinking, his hand did not stop for a second, plunging into the middle of the scarecrow's chest. It immediately exploded. The player behind him exclaimed in surprise. WTF, Yule couldn't help but ask, almost scolding, Are you hacking the game? Yule stood frozen when he saw Yeonwoo defeat the copper scarecrow in the blink of an eye. Yeonwoo turned to look directly at him, making Yule feel a little uneasy. He questioned, I can recognize that the copper scarecrow operates by its sensors if I use my enhanced senses. But this is a normal person. How could the kid figure out how it works? Yeonwoo approached Yule quietly, asking in his head, how did the kid know? Yule saw Yeonwoo getting closer and closer, making him extremely scared. He thought what a terrifying power. But outwardly, he still said stubbornly, What are you going to do to me? Yeonwoo asked back, What am I going to do to you? Yule screamed in fear. You're getting close to me. Are you going to kill me? He reassured him. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. How did you know? Yule went from being scared to confused. Know what? He explained, actually, the copper scarecrow operated through a sensor. I am asking how you know this. Yule hesitated, that is. I can read the mana flow inside the copper scarecrow when it operates. As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately confirmed in his heart, just as I thought, the kid can see magic, proving that he has an extremely high connection to it. Even the stats of magic users. He continued to ask, how can you see and control magic? So can you tell me? He thought to himself, if I can learn it, it will be very useful for me to handle mana. The kid exclaimed in surprise. When he heard that offer, he immediately added, Of course, I won't ask you to tell me for free. He began to persuade him, I see you've been stuck here for quite a while, so I'll help you get out. How does that sound? It's not bad for you, is it? Yule's mouth fell open in surprise. Yeonwoo pretended to turn away. It seems you don't wanna. The kid hurriedly held Yeonwoo back. Wait a moment. At this moment, Yule asked a barrage of questions about what he had said. Is it true? You really don't know how to handle magic? No way. Are you saying you did that without magic? He just asked back. What reason do I have to lie to you? Yule pointed at the rubble of the copper scarecrow and shouted, This is impossible. You clearly defeated all these scarecrows. Yule couldn't help but doubt a monster that he had tried so hard to defeat with his teammates. But still couldn't budge even an inch. That was the copper scarecrow that survived hundreds of skills and attacks without a scratch. He observed Yeonwoo, then evaluated in his head with just a few attacks. He destroyed the copper scarecrow, and now says he doesn't know how to handle magic. Finally, he agreed. All right, I'll teach you. He introduced himself. I am Yule. You want me to help you learn how to handle magic, right? Yeonwoo instructed. All right, Yul, I'll go ahead and clear the way, so you should follow behind me. If you fall behind, I won't hesitate to leave you there, the kid replied. Understood. He turned around and said, and one more thing his attitude made. Yul afraid he reminded him, use polite language when talking to me. I won't disappoint you just because you are a child. He saw through the kid's facade and then spoke. I can clearly see from inside you, you may only be 10 years old, but perhaps you are not an ordinary person. He asked again. You'd better listen to what I say. Understood. Yul obediently replied, yes, sir. On their way, they continued to encounter copper scarecrows. Yeonwoo swung his hand and dealt a fiery punch to the copper scarecrow, and continued to deal with another copper scarecrow along the way. Without a moment's hesitation, he plunged directly into its vital point. Yul stood behind wide-eyed watching how Yeonwoo fluidly dealt with all the copper scarecrows. After resolving the obstacles, he spoke. We're almost at floor B, you can tell me now, right? The kid replied. Oh yes, he explained to Yeonwoo. I don't know about you, but ever since I was born, I could see mana. This time, it was his turn to be surprised. What? He wondered, is this related to your bloodline? The kid confirmed similarly. Cases like this are very rare on Earth, but can usually be found in other worlds. Some individuals possess unique talents, or may even have supernatural powers related to genetics. Such people often have an excellent ancestor, and their abilities are passed down to subsequent generations. Then their descendants awaken their abilities throughout their lives, rise to prominence, and continue to pass on their abilities to their successors. Yul's case is probably similar. Yul told him the ability I inherited is something along the lines of an affinity for mana, allowing me to see, feel, and taste mana. That's how I discovered that the copper puppets had sensors attached to them. He secretly wondered, isn't this similar to my brother? He recalled my brother's trait was psychology, allowing him to communicate with everything, which also means my brother could communicate with mana. His brother didn't have any genetic predisposition to sense mana, unlike others from Earth who often struggled with it. Instead, he could even handle mana very smoothly, as if he had just regained something he had lost. The reason why his brother was chosen by the ancient dragon Kalitus was because of his trait, because he could communicate with everything he inherited, the abilities of the dragon race that ordinary people cannot grasp. He thought technically both of them could be classified as geniuses. But I am not. Yul spoke. You can think of mana as a river. Magic would be water extracted from the river into a reservoir. He was surprised. A reservoir. A notification appeared. You are the successful solo clearer of floor A. You have achieved an accomplishment that is not easily attained. Additional karma will be provided. You have obtained 500 karma. Notifications continued to appear. You have gained 300 karma. Your physical body and mana have been restored. You currently have 800 karma. Upon reading the notification, he thought luckily, Yul and I were not recognized as a team. In the tower, the concept of karma is very important. Karma is a scoring system based on the player's achievements. The tower and the guardian provide rewards based on karma, and it is also used as currency among players and allowed to exchange other items with each other. Basically, it's something every player must try their best to collect as much as possible in the tower, he thought. But I, a newcomer who just cleared Section A of the tutorial floor, have gained this much karma. Other players would be shocked if they knew that. As he pushed the door, he thought again, it's still not enough. I need to accumulate as much as possible. A notification reminded him you have reached the 8th floor. When Yeonwoo entered the lobby, there were thousands of players there. Many people were resting, some were lying exhausted, some had damaged bodies full of wounds. Other players continuously assessed him. Who is that person? What's with his mask? Did he just clear Section A? What at a time like this? Yeonwoo turned and asked, what are you doing? Aren't you coming in? Khan trembled. I'm finally out. He looked at his hand in disbelief and repeated, I'm finally out of there. At this moment, Yul noticed a corner. There was a group of 4 people standing there. When that group saw Yul, they immediately changed their attitude. Some even dared not look him in the face and turned away, avoiding him. The kid immediately gritted his teeth in anger. Seeing Yul's strangeness, Yeonwoo asked, Are those your teammates? The kid immediately replied, Yes, they abandoned me in the boss room. He spoke, Come here, I'll tell you. He asked, Do you want to tell me about mana flow or something else? Yul began to tell him about that. Yeonwoo sat beside him, listening intently. He thought being able to objectively distinguish between those two things means the kid has great potential to become even stronger. Thanks to Yule, Yan-Woo could get a preliminary understanding of magic and mana, though it was still difficult to understand most of the theory. But as everything started to form in his mind, it allowed him to grasp, to a certain extent, what his brother had written in his diary. He wondered, I can get a preliminary understanding of what mana is, but if I can't use it, it will be completely useless. I mean, how do I use mana easily or something like that? The kid replied, I don't know how to use it, but I feel very refreshed. I guess I actually knew how to handle it from the beginning, so it's very difficult to explain how. Yan-Woo was a little surprised, really, so that's how it is. He spoke. Then I'll continue moving forward here. You wait for the tutorial floor to end and then come back, right? Yule replied, What? Oh, yes. He said goodbye. We'll have to part ways here, kid. Then he waved goodbye to the kid. But after a few steps, he turned back and called, Hey, Yule. In the basement, a mysterious person talked to Yule's group. I really like your eyes. People like you will definitely do great things. He introduced himself. I am Bild. We are called Arangdan. We are in the waiting room of the next floor. If you want to join, come with us. Ken excitedly discussed with his teammates, that means we will join the Arangdan Guild. The teammate immediately replied, If it's indeed Arangdan, it was formed to prevent chaos in the tutorial floor. A faint light from the stone on the ceiling shone down into the basement. Another teammate shouted, If we move, these scarecrows will attack. Ken thought, if things continue like this, I'll be in trouble. How do I get out of here now? He glanced at Yule standing next to him. He hesitated. Yule's ability is only to analyze the flow of magic and mana. The kid won't be much help. Maybe I should leave him here. Then he decided in this case, perhaps that's the right thing to do. Ken grabbed Yule by the collar, startling him. What are you doing? His response to the kid was that he threw him into the middle of the copper scarecrows. Then he shouted, Now run! Yule cried out in anguish from behind. All of you! Why are you doing this to me? Yule thought painfully. At first I even thought you guys were good people. Back in the waiting room, Yule asked, What's wrong? Do we still have something to talk about? Ken stammered, How did you? The kid sharply said, I don't need to tell you how I got out of there right now, do I? He couldn't contain his hatred and dismissed them. I don't know what you plan to say, but please get lost. I don't even want to see you, because just looking at you makes me sick. So let's pretend we don't know each other until the time for the tutorial floor ends. I don't have enough strength to do anything to you guys. Do I? Yule looked at the 4 people in front of him and asked, So how the hell are you guys here waiting for me? Ken bowed remorsefully in every possible way. We want to apologize for what happened before. Yule shouted. What nonsense are you talking about? This is meaningless. Ken pleaded. What happened at that time? I hope you will keep it a secret. Okay? He was almost begging. We are truly sorry. I can't tell you the details. But what happened between us, please don't tell anyone else about this. We beg you. All of them simultaneously pleaded sincerely, Forgive us this time. Yule. Please, for the sake of friendship. Think about what we've been through. Yule said disgustedly. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. But get lost. I don't want to see your faces anymore. With that, Yule turned and walked away. Ken thought unwillingly. It can't be like this. If I let things happen like this, the opportunity might vanish into thin air. He couldn't suppress the malicious thoughts in his head. If it's me, I'll eliminate Yule here. Bill doesn't know the kid anyway. Ken turned to look at his teammate next to him. He seemed to have made a decision. Sorry, kid, but you'll probably have to die here. He assessed the current situation. This place has few people. No one is really paying attention to it, so if I kill him, no one will know. He intended to grab the sword at his side, then urged himself, if I don't kill him, I won't be able to join the Arangdan Guild. He decided to cover this up by saying the kid died in the boss room. As his hand was about to touch the sword, a voice from behind him rang out. They say there's a guild on the tutorial floor directly belonging to something called Arangdan, and that they tend to recruit new members from Arangdan, but they are very strict in recruiting. They only want to recruit people who have committed no sins, so you want to kill the kid, right? Ken turned his head in surprise. Just as he turned, Yan-Woo swung a slash straight at his hand. Ken screamed in pain like an animal. Yule was startled by the scream and turned his head. He collapsed to the floor and kept shouting, My hand! My hand! Yan-Woo thought with a bit of helplessness. If it were someone else, I would have reached floor B a long time ago. But with this kid, I just can't ignore it. He closed his eyes. For a moment, I saw the image of my brother appearing in Yule. The kid was also harmed by his own teammates. Ken's other teammates clutched their weapons in their hands defensively and wondered, when did he get there? I clearly looked around, so why? They assessed him. This person is very strong. Yan-Woo spoke. If you guys like harming others so much, you should also be mentally prepared. Ken gnashed his teeth. My hand, you dog, how dare you do that? I will kill you. He used his uninjured arm to swing his sword and attack Yan-Woo. But he agilely dodged the attack, then tightly gripped the hand that was attacking him, then twisted his arm back like twisting a rope and calmly said, Is that so? He said, if you want, I'll make you unable to use your hand anymore. One of them wondered, Why are you doing this? You have no grudge against him. Why are you hitting us? He asked back, What have you guys done that you're asking me now? The guy hesitated. This matter. He ordered, Put your weapons down. He gripped Ken's hand tightly, threatening. I don't want to repeat myself again. He screamed in pain. Put them down! Do it. Throw them down. Please. The remaining three simultaneously dropped their weapons. He said, We've done it. Release Ken. Yan-Woo scoffed, idiots. He kicked Ken straight down onto the ground while still holding Ken's hand tightly. He shrieked as if his guts were tearing, then lay motionless on the ground. The accomplice yelled, That's different from what you promised. His reply was a powerful punch to the face. He was thrown several meters away. The two remaining guys gritted their teeth looking at Yan-Woo. Both charged simultaneously. Yan-Woo's hands gripped two knives. He lunged forward quickly. The other two also raised their weapons, actively advancing to engage. Yan-Woo changed his stance, raising one hand to guard in front. Then, as he passed between the two, he swung his hand, slicing a few lines, leaving only afterimages. By the time he stopped, the knife in front of him was covered in blood. The two people behind him screamed in pain and despair. Not my leg. Yan-Woo turned his face and glanced at them. He instantly threw two punches to the faces of the two in their shock. This punch made them roll their eyes back, foam at the mouth, and pass out on the spot. Yule, standing by, watching the scene, also had his mouth agape in surprise, unable to say a word. He stood frozen, looking at the imposing figure of the masked person who wanted to hide his identity in front of him, his heart a mess. I knew he was very strong, but he truly surpassed my expectations. Yan-Woo on the other side glanced over and approached, reminding him, You're drooling, kid. Yule started quickly wiping his mouth with his hand. He couldn't help but add a few more sentences. Take care of yourself and watch out for others from now on. After giving friendly advice, Yan-Woo turned and left. The kid stood frozen in surprise behind him, only hesitantly speaking to stop him a moment later. Wait, thank you, big brother. Yule cupped his hands around his mouth like a megaphone and shouted, One day I'll be like you. Yan-Woo paused slightly at that, turning his body a little. He gently said, Try visiting Prezia Flower Garden. The kid looked at Yan-Woo in astonishment, wondering, Huh? He coldly replied, It will be quite helpful for you. After saying that, Yan-Woo ignored Yule, who was stunned on the other side, and turned to leave. This time he was really leaving. The kid clenched his hands, muttering a few words in his mouth. Prezia Garden, right? Yule's eyes darkened slightly. His lips pressed tightly, as if he had made a very important decision in his life. In a corner, no one paid attention to Ken was sitting against the wall, resting his eyes for a moment, when he suddenly noticed something in the distance. He immediately smirked and let out a happy, Ooh! His gaze was intently fixed forward, carrying a hint of judgment. Khan softly mumbled, That's truly beyond imagination. Then he lightly nudged Doyle, who was lying asleep on the ground, with his foot, and called him awake. Hey, don't sleep anymore. Doyle sat up groggily, letting out a big yawn. He rubbed his eyes to wake up before starting to grumble. You don't even let me sleep, what's wrong? Khan squatted down nonchalantly, asking, Did you see that? The kid asked back vaguely, See what? He clicked his tongue slightly and replied with delight. The guys who were bragging about getting into Hargan, they just got beaten to a pulp. Doyle sat up straight, raising his arms to stretch and wake up while taking the opportunity to gossip. Those guys are always bragging everywhere that they're being helped by the Orangdan Guild. What happened to them? They were beaten by a single person. Khan immediately revealed what he had just seen. Hearing that, the kid jumped and let out a surprised, Huh, then immediately asked again, All by a single person. He offered his speculation. Yes, I think he came from floor A alone. I think he also cleared the floor by himself. Doyle was utterly astonished. Huh. Is that all true? Is he really that strong? So the two of them sat in the corner whispering their own calculations. Is it okay to make him a member of our team? Khan quickly said, playing solo means he doesn't belong to any team yet. I don't think there will be anyone else like this, so I want to invite him to join our team. He sat closer and tried to persuade the kid. If we can invite him, our team's strength will increase greatly. Doyle rested his chin in thought. That's right. If we can't invite him, then we'll have to fight each other later. Khan stood up, a smile of interest on his lips. If that's the case, we just need to test him one more time. Should we follow him? Yule responded in confusion. Brother, that's a bad habit. He nonchalantly asked again. So you're not planning to follow? The kid looked up, trying to persuade him. Brother, should we really think a little more? Khan just gave Yule a look, then repeated the previous question and waited. Are you really not going? The kid quickly stood up and said, Who says I'm not going? Don't you know? I like this the most. Doyle also now had a smile that clearly showed a hint of interest. In another area, Yeonwoo stood before 4 different colored doors. In front of him, the tutorial board appeared. The challenge for Floor B is about to begin. Floor B has a total of 4 doors. Choose one door and clear the path. He silently calculated in his mind. Each door is designed to guide the player to a different room with a preset difficulty. The further to the right, the more difficult it will be. My brother took the second easiest door. Remembering this, Yeonwoo felt a little sad, but after a long time, when he had somewhat stabilized in the tower and knew about the secrets of the tutorial floor, he regretted the choice he had made on Floor B. The rewards varied depending on the color of the door chosen on Floor B. My future strength depends on my choice of doors this time. Perhaps I should choose the black door. Thinking that, he walked towards the pitch-black door. In his heart, he silently repeated this time's goal. I must lay my hands on the vampire sword, Batori here. Vampire knife? Then Yeonwoo quickly opened the door in front of him and stepped inside. A notification immediately followed. You have entered the black path. Safely swim across the pond and proceed to the opposite side. The requirements for this challenge quickly appeared. He looked at the still water with the note. The pond was created from the immense Mimir's water accidentally spilled during transportation. No normal life form can live in this pond. Yeonwoo then used his foot to kick up a small stone under his feet, then kicked it straight into the pond. The stone dissolved bit by bit, startling him. It broke. Yeonwoo fell into contemplation. If I try to swim across without knowing the depth and width of the pond, I will die immediately. I don't even know what's inside. His mind calculated extremely quickly. His eyes behind the mask also became bright, muttering non-stop in his head. It must be somewhere. When Khan probed the wall, he saw several intertwined squiggly lines. He did not hesitate to touch it with his hand. The wall suddenly lowered, revealing another hidden path. Looking at the stairs in front of him, Yeonwoo became visibly happy. This is the way. The system also timely notified, you have entered the dungeon. You have found the hidden fragment, the room of ice and fire. You have gained 300 karma. Ignoring those notifications, he followed the stairs down, then stopped at a certain spot and softly uttered in his head, Found it. Yeonwoo stared at the wall in front of him, covered in white moss, a type of moss carrying the essence of the moon. If eaten, it will cause illness, and its taste is not very good either. He fell into his own train of thought again. Only then did I discover that despite being as difficult as the Black Path, it also has many different solutions. One of the solutions is white moss. White moss is a type of moss that carries the essence of the moon. It is not suitable for the human body. Therefore, even if eaten, the body cannot absorb the energy, leading to various diseases. Therefore, players who somehow find their way into the dungeon often avoid white moss. However, I learned about it after hearing it from my family's close friend, Yondan. White moss is a type of material and has a rather unique way of consumption. My brother discovered that to be able to use and eat them, we need many other ingredients. Creatures like insects and animals consider white moss their main food source to develop their bodies. Insects and animals eat white moss. Their stomachs evolve and emit artificial heat to absorb the essence of the moon, and the heat emitted from the heart contains the property of fire. On the other hand, the property of white moss is water. if both the heart and the moss are harmonized at the same time. Yanwu looked around and thought the two attributes will combine and become an elixir that strengthens bones and muscles. From here on, it's quite dark inside. Both sides of the walls are mostly covered in white moss. While he was concentrating on that side, several large centipedes appeared behind him. Wherever Yanwu appeared, they were also everywhere. But he hadn't noticed this yet and was still observing everything. Both sides of the walls here had been eaten clean. At this moment, Yanwu suddenly realized there must be some monster living around here. He raised his head silently, shouting in his head. A giant centipede, quick as lightning, Yanwu pulled out his knife and swung it down decisively. Looking at the giant insect in front of him, Yanwu's mind quickly calculated, I need to deal with this centipede to upgrade my basic stats. Yanwu looked at the centipede crawling quickly in front of him. A descriptive label appeared. Red centipede. A centipede that relies on white moss as its main food source. Although its eyes have blurred the fact that it lives in a sea cave, its other senses are more developed, sometimes preferring to eat meat instead of regular moss. A notification appeared. Fire monster has appeared. Hidden mission. Ice and fire. The room of ice and fire is filled with white moss-eating monsters. If they leave the dungeon, the outside ecosystem could be disturbed. Hunt as many monsters as possible. Its two sharp fangs moved continuously with its body's movements. Then that centipede pounced on him. Yanwu did not stand still and wait to die, but quickly lunged forward. Then took the opportunity to change the direction of his knife, slashing its belly, but ultimately causing it no significant wounds. His eyes narrowed slightly, muttering to himself, It's too hard. Normal attacks won't harm it. Its biological shell is too tough. Yanwu held two knives forward, ready to defend a slight unease in his heart. The dagger he had just thrown luckily pierced its skin, but it was too shallow. That wasn't enough to weaken it. There's a huge difference between clearing traps and dealing with monsters. I just need to find a reasonable strategy. After all, life is just life. And that also applies to monsters. Perhaps it has some weakness. Yanwu softly muttered dragon's eye. His eyes suddenly glowed. His normal eye color also changed to dazzling gold. The centipede stood up halfway. Its X-ray-like eyes scanned through its interior. A black spot appeared in the chest area. He immediately shouted, There it is. Yanwu stared intently at the giant centipede crawling on the ceiling of the cave. He silently calculated, I need to find the right time to stab it, and the opportunity has come. It once again charged towards Yanwu. He dodged its path, then quickly turned and pinned it down. Right at its weak point, he raised his knife high, then stabbed down with force. After that, he used both hands to press the knife deeper into its body. But when it had penetrated, he was surprised to discover an inner shell. The centipede, in pain, immediately whipped its tail towards him. Yanwu agilely dodged the attack, but was still too slow and was sent flying into the wall. The system quickly displayed, Terrible pain invades your body. You have been affected by stun. He screamed in agony and spat out a mouthful of blood. A notification immediately followed. You have serious internal injuries. You have been affected by shock. Red centipede bodily fluid has permeated your body. You have been affected by poisoning. Yanwu sat against the wall, examining his injuries. 4 ribs, 2 vertebrae, broken, a ruptured vein in his left thigh, a torn tendon in his right ankle. He closed his eyes, trying to suppress the pain. The system quickly announced, The cold-blooded trait has helped you maintain composure. The stun status effect has been removed. You have developed pain resistance. The shock status effect has been removed. You have developed impact resistance. The poisoning status effect has been removed. You have developed poison resistance. Yanwu gripped his knife and raised his hand to activate the skill mechanism physical resistance created. You have shown great composure of mind in all situations. You have attained profound enlightenment regarding perseverance and an indomitable will. The giant centipede opened its mouth wide and charged. He stood still waiting. When the notification sounded, the skill, Fighting Will, has been created. The centipede had also arrived. Yanwu gripped his knife tightly and plunged it straight into its mouth. His hands trembled slightly. Seconds later, he used all his strength to tear open the outer shell. Yanwu's mind quickly calculated there's only one weak point above it where the hard shell currently is. He raised his knife once again, stabbing into a soft spot, causing blue syrup to spray out. Yanwu deduced this is its belly. He pulled down and syrup sprayed out forcefully. Suddenly, Yanwu paused for a moment, and the syrup immediately splattered all over his face. Yanwu poked a little harder, making it scream in agony. A while later, on the dark ground, he lay exhausted beside a large red centipede carcass. Yanwu looked at his hands stained with blue syrup, utterly disheartened. Then he cast his eyes to look directly into the centipede's eyes. At first it twitched a little, then its eyes gradually darkened, and then completely went out. A notification quickly appeared. You have successfully killed the red centipede. You have killed an enemy that would normally be impossible for you. Yanwu flipped over, pulled off his mask, and gasped for breath. On the ground was a scattered pile of white moss. He reached out and grabbed a handful of moss, quickly shoved it into his mouth, quickly chewed and swallowed it down. Then he turned towards the red centipede carcass on the ground. Using a knife, he dug out the centipede's blue heart. Then, without hesitation, he opened his mouth wide and swallowed the disgusting thing down his throat. Back in the waiting room, Bin frowned, growling, "What the hell happened here?" The two aggressive guys, after being beaten, were now dazed with bruised faces, kneeling on the floor, not saying a word. He stared blankly at them, frowning uncomfortably. What really happened here? Were they beaten like this by someone? Could that bastard be challenging us? Annoying. He must have known they were under Orangdan's protection, but he didn't care about that, which means he's looking down on us. Thinking that, Bin turned and asked the person behind him, who was a young man wearing a white mask. That person pondered for a moment and replied, "Yes, that's right." He rested his chin in thought. Wearing a mask, huh? Seconds later, Bin turned his foot in another direction. He left quickly, silently calculating in his heart, "I think I'll find and hunt that guy right now." Bin's eyes narrowed, showing a profound expression. A notification appeared. You have successfully killed the red centipede. You have killed an enemy that would normally be impossible for you. Additional karma will be provided. The heart of the red ogong has been eaten in conjunction with white moss. The heart shows its consumption effects. Your joints are being remade and becoming harder. Muscles are firmer and skin is smoother. Your physique is improving little by little. Number of monsters hunted 1. You have obtained a hidden fragment, the heart of fire and the badge of frost. Yanwu sat leaning against a corner, resting after having just gone through the battle with the red centipede, then let out a sigh of relief. He thought, I somehow did it. I managed to obtain the heart of fire and the badge of frost. Yanwu opened the system panel silently, thinking, I heard that the stronger the body becomes, the faster it recovers when tired. That's a relief. Current stats are strength, 60, agility, 65, endurance, 62, mana 21, dragon's eye, 3, 1%, enhanced senses, 17, 8%, farsight, 0, 0%, physical resistance, 7, 2%, fighting will, 3, 2%. He looked at his stats on the system panel, muttering, I didn't expect to gain more stat points from killing the red ogong than from defeating the boss room. Low magic power is the only vulnerability I have. But what can I do about it? Yanwu thought to himself, I need to figure out how to sense mana as soon as possible. The problem is how. But I'm also quite happy that my stats have increased quite significantly. An image of a dragon appeared. He muttered, this isn't the only problem. The power of the dragon. Calatus is great, but there will be many situations where mana will be useful. Yanwu stroked the information panel, thinking that will definitely happen as long as I continue to climb higher. He thought to himself, physical resistance will be effective against external impacts. Physical resistance rank E proficiency, 7, 2%. When activated, resistance to physical attacks increases, and some high resistance to a range of status effects will be invoked. Physical resistance will be effective against external impacts. It will minimize the impact from an attack and also reduce pain. Yanwu recalled himself fighting the red centipede, praising himself. I really have to thank my cold-blooded trait. Otherwise, I would have died just now. He admitted, however, the pain cannot be reduced much. I feel the pain is still intense, even though it has been reduced. But in battles, this skill will truly help me immensely to defeat opponents. Yanwu thought, poisoning, burning, freezing, panic, dizziness, hallucinations, and curses are the biggest obstacles in raids. But if I can avoid all of that, it will create a huge advantage. His hand brushed, thinking. Now the most notable skill is probably Fighting Will. Fighting Will rank D+ proficiency, 32%. Thanks to perseverance and indomitable will, you burn with fighting spirit regardless of the circumstances. While focusing on combat, thought acceleration allows for quick decision-making. This is the most important thing. Yanwu lamented that was truly a dire situation, a feather hanging by a thread to be able to make a calm judgment. Besides, this skill can also be used in many different ways. It's fortunate to have this skill, otherwise I would have been killed by Ogong. The corner of his mouth unconsciously curved up, he thought to himself. But honestly, this skill evaluation is not too bad. It's hard to get a skill ranked above D in the tutorial floor. After checking, Yanwu put on his mask and continued his journey. Immediately after, sonic creatures suddenly appeared, but he easily dealt with all of them. The system panel displayed a notification: you have successfully killed 5 sonic bats. Number of monsters annihilated 147. The corpses of the fallen bats were scattered all over the ground under Yanwu's feet. He picked up a sonic bat, plucked something from it, and lamented, "I'm starting to get used to it." Yanwu said, "These are the teeth and claws of bats." He took a jar of mixture from his person, muttering, "This is a mixture of white moss and Ogong's poisonous blood. I used the correct ratio when preparing it," Yanwu said, "if poured onto the teeth and claws of sonic bats." When the mixture was just poured onto the pile of sonic bat teeth and claws, they reacted strongly. After completing it, he explained, "I obtained powder with fire essence. It's very explosive when it comes into contact with fire." Yanwu put the powder into a pouch to carry it. He tied them to his belt. Yanwu's eyes focused on something, thinking next. Before him was an entire colony of ants. Next to them were many giant ant eggs. Green ant legion? The size of an ant ranged from 30 simir to 1 malayers. Hundreds of ants formed a society around the queen ant. Worker ants were tending to the eggs that the queen ant laid. Yanwu silently observed for a moment, thinking, due to the nature of ant society, all ants, including worker ants, are willing to sacrifice their lives to protect their habitat if attacked, engaging in battle with all of them at once. "Please, no." His gaze shifted elsewhere, thinking the room outside this tunnel is where the vampire dagger Bathory resides. The vampire lord is one of the long-extinct lords. Legend has it that the countess was the one who brought death and destruction. She could drain the life force of others to strengthen herself, and if allowed to continue, she could also steal their skills. He had heard that there were still quite a few players and clans grinding their teeth in frustration whenever they recalled the damage they suffered from her. The fewer artifacts, the better the quality. Artifacts with 3 digits in the 300 range are some of the best. Bathory Dagger Artifact number 352. Moreover, this is a very unique product, the rarest artifact in the entire tower and tutorial floor. I cannot miss this. Yanwu was determined not to lose it. He held the newly made explosive pouches in both hands, saying, "Even when the path seems blocked, there is always a way." Immediately after, Yanwu mustered all his courage and charged into the Green Ant Legion. 2 worker ants spotted him, but they still didn't understand what was happening. Then he immediately threw the explosive pouches towards them. When the explosive pouches had fallen all over the ground, the worker ants still didn't realize the danger. Yanwu had a lighter on him. He used all his strength to throw it hard towards the explosives. A terrifying explosion occurred, blowing away the worker ants. The system announced successfully blew up the ant dungeon. 217 Green Ant Legion members were blown up. 89 green ants among them were burned. Additional karma will be provided. Yanwu took out a dagger, charged forward, slashing the remaining green ants. Each one was handled very quickly by Yanwu. He stood looking around and realized that almost all of them were dead. Only young ants or unhatched eggs remained. Yanwu rubbed his neck, looking tired, saying, "But there are still many living worker ants." He looked at the crawling ants, muttering, "I'll sweep away these ants after I get the vampire dagger." Yanwu braced himself. "Right now, I need to focus on this." Suddenly, his eyes noticed something. The ground beneath Yanwu rose. In front of him was a giant ant. One of its wings was burned. It had lost a leg on its side. Yanwu gripped his dagger tightly, ready for battle. Its gaze at him was indescribable. It roared. Information appeared. Boss Monster Green Ant Queen has appeared. Immediately after, the Green Ant Queen charged to attack. With his agility, Yanwu easily dodged the attack. He thought there must be a door inside this ant nest. And after a while of observation, Yanwu discovered something. He shouted, "There it is!" upon seeing the door. Yanwu took 3 darts from his person. Immediately after, he threw them powerfully towards the Ant Queen. One of the 3 darts hit its eye. He seized the opportunity, rushed forward with his knife. Yanwu slashed powerfully at the Ant Queen's body. His slash severed one of its legs, causing it to lose balance and fall. After the Ant Queen collapsed, the other ants ran to its side. At this point, Yeonwoo could calmly go and open the door without being blocked by any ants. When he opened the door, something glowing hit Yeonwoo's eyes directly. The system announced, "You have entered the Vampire Lord's temple." He looked at the sword on the statue, muttering, "Bathory, the Vampire Lord, that's it. The Vampire Lord's most highly rated weapon. Vampire Dagger Bathory, Vampire Dagger Artifact. 352. Weapon classification one-handed, unique rating. The Vampire Lord's most highly rated weapon. It has the ability to drain the opponent's blood. The soul of the previous owner resides within the sword, so the dagger will choose its wielder. If the wielder is not approved by the dagger, it will continuously try to seize their mind. Blood mark. If the target is hit by a critical strike, the target will bleed. Targets under the effect of bleeding will receive a certain percentage of damage over time. Vampire Lord's power skill locked sealed." Behind his mask, Yeonwoo smiled, thinking, "I finally got what I needed most. It will help me greatly in closing the gap between myself and other players." He approached and looked it over, and that was enough to see the terrifying power of the dagger. Immediately after the enemy is under the bleeding status, the dagger can increase damage higher than average. However, the power of this knife is being suppressed. Its true value is a big question mark for me. The Vampire Lord's statue looked truly terrifying. Yeonwoo slightly bowed respectfully. After that, he used his hand to pull the dagger out of the statue. Suddenly, black aura appeared around the arm holding the dagger, surprising him. Yeonwoo's face showed pain as he recalled the saying, "The dagger will choose its wielder. If the player is not chosen by it, their body will be destroyed." He held the dagger in his hand, questioning himself. However, are players who just joined the tutorial floor capable enough to prevent that threat? That's why some players who found the dagger suddenly passed away quickly. Yeonwoo placed his other hand on the table. If other players saw me do this, they would probably think I'm crazy. Suddenly, he raised the hand holding the dagger, then used force to stab it hard into his other hand. When the dagger had stabbed into his hand, the black aura also moved. Yeonwoo thought to himself, "The vampire dagger." Bathory was originally a skill, but it caused extreme difficulty. Immediately after black bubbles flew out from the wound, he thought the Vampire Lord was so greedy that she didn't want to pass on her most precious weapon to others, even after she died. Therefore, she sealed the dagger's true form and abilities and left it in the world. The system announced the seal has been removed. Yeonwoo knew how to break the seal. Finally, the seal was completely removed. Something appeared on his arm. The original notification panel appeared. Vampire Dagger, Bathory, Artifact 66, Proficiency 0%, True Form, the Vampire Lord's most highly rated weapon. It can drain life energy from opponents and devour their souls. He held out his arm, feeling an astonishing power. Yeonwoo wondered, is it like Darius? The notification panel, Blood Mark. If the target is hit by a critical strike, the target will bleed. Targets under the effect of bleeding will receive a certain percentage of damage over time. He rejoiced. Even high-ranking individuals would have to risk their lives to obtain this skill. A game-breaking skill, the Vampire Lord's power. Consumes energy and reduces a portion of the target's attribute points. If proficiency reaches maximum, the target's skills can also be stolen. Yeonwoo chuckled to himself. The door slammed continuously. He stood inside, laughing gleefully because he had just successfully obtained a game-breaking skill. Damn it, you're screwed. After coming out, Yeonwoo calmly dealt with each green ant. The Ant Queen watched her children die at his feet. It roared and attacked with all its might. Yeonwoo took a defensive stance, then jumped high over the Ant Queen's head. He sat on its back, raised his arm, now equipped with a new skill to practice. Yeonwoo drained the Ant Queen's energy. His eyes sharp, he whispered, "Devour." The notification panel. You have absorbed life energy. Proficiency of the Vampire Dagger. Bathory skill increased by 1%. The Ant Queen was now just a dried-up corpse. The system announced, you have absorbed life energy. Your strength increased by 1 point. Your endurance increased by 2 points. You are continuously hacking the game. You have killed the boss monster. Green Ant Queen additional karma will be provided. You have obtained 300. When the Ant Queen was eliminated, the Green Ant Army lost its fighting spirit. The ant tunnel will soon collapse. The collapse is underway. The scene shifts to another cave. Doyle wondered, was there a place like this before? I've never seen this place. At least he's not strong enough to enter a place like this. So are you sure he's here? Khan angrily. That's what I said. If you don't believe me, go back. The kid yawned. Who said I don't believe you? Why are you so harsh? He put his arm around the kid's shoulder, grinning. Come on, don't be like that, we're brothers. Doyle's face was helpless. Kane became serious again, but perhaps. He looked at the monster corpses scattered on the ground, lamenting. It seems someone has hunted a lot of monsters. Khan wondered. This is amazing. Is he really that strong? The monsters here don't look weak at all. The kid had to admit it's funny to say this, but just by looking at the traces, the ones inside this dungeon couldn't be weak, perhaps because he's too strong. Suddenly Doyle's eyes shifted, noticing something. He called out loudly, Hyung! He replied, I know this is no longer a joke. Seeing the dried corpses of the green ants, Khan wondered, where did he find this? When we searched, there was no sign of this and this dungeon too. Meanwhile, Doyle was in disbelief at what was before his eyes. Then he silently thought not only did he solo floor A, but he probably has some overpowered skill. The system announced, you have killed a brown-colored salamander. After draining its life energy, it fell, becoming just a dried corpse. The display showed the number of monsters hunted 1,000. The maximum requirement for your quest has been met. Suddenly, Yeon Woo's entire body was surrounded by a blue aura. The display showed the Heart of Fire and Frost Badge effects completed. Everything began to happen within your body. Your body is undergoing changes. He immediately opened the status window. Yeon Woo muttered, thanks to the energy of the monsters I drained through the Vampire Dagger Battery. My stats have experienced an unparalleled surge. The display showed the traits cold-blooded enhanced physique, strength 81, agility 83, endurance 89, mana 21, skills, Dragon's Eye 5, 2% enhanced senses, 25, 9%, farsight 0%, physical resistance 10, 2%, will to fight 7, 1%, vampire dagger 3, 2%, he exclaimed. My stats have increased significantly. Yeon Woo was surprised. Enhanced physique. The information panel appeared. Trait enhanced physique. You have consumed the heart containing the fire attribute and absorbed the essence of ice. The two elements, fire and ice, merge, granting excellent immunity and resistance. Fatigue does not accumulate easily. After reading, he thought enhanced physique makes the body resist fatigue. Especially the self-healing ability has given me an advantage, helping to reduce the likelihood of serious injury in critical situations. Yeon Woo's face darkened. However, there's another reason why I need this trait. The system announced, body improvement confirmed. You are strong enough. The awakening process is temporarily paused, will resume. System loading, 6%, 7%, gradually increasing to 12%. 87, and reached current progress of 21.3%. And reached current progress of 21.3%. Your current state will change from incomplete dragon body to immature dragon body. He secretly rejoiced. I did it, but it's just the beginning. I must continue to refine my body even further. The system appeared. Your ranking in the tutorial floor has been updated. Do you want to register your name on the leaderboard? Yeon Woo did not hesitate to press no. The system showed, registration has been cancelled. He thought I prefer it this way, because I don't want my name on the leaderboard and draw more attention from the guilds. Yeon Woo checked the board and saw he was in position 281. He wondered, I'm very happy to be on the leaderboard, but why such a huge gap? Yeon Woo mumbled, perhaps the top 10 opponents are better than I predicted. At this rate, everything will go to waste. I'll have to speed up a lot. He startled someone's here. Yeon Woo felt two people behind him. When did they start following me? He pulled out his dagger on guard, wondering, who are they? It's very possible it's the Arangdan guys seeking revenge. Suddenly, Yeon Woo saw a shadow appear. He immediately threw the knife hard towards that person. Doyle had no idea what was happening. Panicked. Luckily, Khan pulled him, dodging the knife. Doyle fell hard to the ground, yelling, oh my god. He lunged out, hitting the knife away. When the knife fell, Yeon Woo was in a ready stance. Khan angrily roared, what the hell are you doing? He didn't answer coldly, asking Arangdan, right? The other guy wondered. What do you mean by Arangdan? Yeon Woo questioned. Then why are you two following me? Khan ignored the question, yelling, what the hell are you doing? He said if someone was following you and you didn't know their intentions, you would do the same as me. As soon as he finished speaking, the two of them fell silent. Then they both bowed their heads. You're right about this. We sincerely apologize. Yeonwoo still looked at them coldly without replying. He began to lower his guard, saying, All right, explain yourselves. Hearing this, both were delighted. Khan excitedly suggested, Please join our team. Doyle was helpless with his actions, while Yeonwoo looked with an expression of, What's wrong with this guy? He turned and scolded, Don't do that anymore, aren't you ashamed? The other guy still didn't understand what he was ashamed of. On this side, he thought to himself, Are these guys putting on a circus act? Not caring at all. Yeonwoo turned and walked away. Khan called out, Hey friend, where are you going? We haven't finished talking yet. He ran and grabbed his arm. He immediately spoke with annoyance. What do you have anything else to say? Khan said, You haven't given me an answer. I want you to join my team. Yeonwoo firmly said no. The other guy asked in surprise, Why? He explained, I don't know what you two are doing, and I don't see any benefit in cooperating with you two. Khan asked, Wait, you don't know me? Yeonwoo, how the hell would I know? The other guy. In surprise? What, really? He was extremely annoyed. Who are you that I should know? Khan was bewildered. But how you really don't know me? I mean, that's me. How can you not recognize me? I'm like the brightest star in the tutorial floor. Doyle strongly nudged his belly, then tried hard to clear up the misunderstanding. I'm really sorry if we offended you. I hope you understand. But he's not a bad person. Don't worry. On this side, Yeonwoo had a huge vein throbbing on his forehead. The kid laughed awkwardly. We'll introduce ourselves. I'm Doyle, and the stupid one here is my brother Khan. He remembered the two names Doyle and Khan on the tutorial floor leaderboard at positions 11 and 3, respectively. Doyle was a little embarrassed. There's a bit of shame when I say that. Actually, it's all thanks to my brother pulling me up. Yeonwoo said, Perhaps the story of you two following me to invite me to your team is true? The kid was surprised. Luckily, you believed. Then he used Dragon's Eye. Yeonwoo observed the two people's bodies, muttering, Recently, I tried checking living creatures with Dragon's Eye. Negative things were all black, completely different from positive ones. He saw Khan and Doyle's colors seemed brighter. Perhaps what they were saying was true. Yeonwoo wondered, Then why are players like you two, who should be very busy completing the tutorial floor and collecting karma? He didn't understand why they bothered coming back to this section and asking a player like him to join their team. Doyle hesitated before answering the question. I want to confirm a few things with you. Yeonwoo, confused. What the kid asked. Do you belong to any team or clan? He answered, No. Doyle explained, You can recruit someone from floor E. By the time players reach the later sections, they usually join other teams or clans. Yeonwoo asked again, So you two want to invite me? The kid replied, Yes, I want to invite you to the team so we can advance to floor E. He thought it's hard to test players' skills in section A. They probably found me during their search in section B. Yeonwoo thought further. Perhaps they saw me during the fight. He asked, Are you saying there's an item on floor E that's very difficult to obtain, even for those ranked 3rd and 11th, and you need someone to help? Is this true? Doyle awkwardly replied, Yes, I can't give you details. Although, Yeonwoo remembered, it seems they need Hargan's crown below the point where the 3 trees are entangled on floor E. There's a lair where the leader of the flying lizards, Hargan, resides. He mumbled, That's a hidden fragment that my brother and his team Ardia struggled to obtain. But most importantly, the item inside Hargan's lair. Hargan's crown is an item of very little value to me. Yeonwoo recalled his brother's appearance, but it was also because of this so-called crown that his own brother was betrayed by those he trusted most. The law of the jungle prevailed in the tower. If someone turned their back on an enemy, they could be devoured. He thought to himself, If I have teammates, I will only choose 1 or 2 people. That's a number I think won't be a burden and will be easy to discard. The kid offered benefits. You won't be disappointed with the compensation. We can also adjust the conditions if you need anything else. Doyle asked. What do you think? I'm sure it's not a bad deal, even for you. Yeonwoo thought to himself it wouldn't hurt to help them a little, right? He accepted. All right, I'll help you guys, but on one condition. The kid asked, What? Yeonwoo stated the condition. Besides the item you need, I want all the other rewards. After hearing his condition, the two looked at each other and nodded in agreement. Doyle replied, All right, it's all yours. However, you have to show us what you've got. Khan laughed happily, reaching out to greet him. Anyway, it's good to meet you, so tell me your name, brother. Yeonwoo shook his hand, but in his head he thought he seems friendly, but I can't tell him my real name. Instead, I should give them my code name, my second identity, when I was on the African battlefield. Yanwu gave his code name Kane. My name is Kane. The system displayed a notification. You have completed the black path of Floor B as a solo player. You have achieved a feat not easily attained. Additional karma will be provided. You have completed Floor C as a solo player. You have completed Floor D. A goblin lay on the ground, gasping for breath. Human too strong must. Yanwu finished it off with his dagger. After finishing, he calmly wiped the blood with a cloth. Khan stood behind him thinking, what am I looking at? Is he the same person from Section B before? How can he develop so quickly? After eliminating all the goblins, he went and pushed the door open. The notification panel, you have completed Floor D as a solo player. All status effects will be removed. You have entered Floor E. He stretched and sighed. Indeed, the inside of Dungeon Section C was quite stifling. Doyle rubbed his eyes, saying, and I'm a little sad to leave, it was the perfect place for a nap. Meanwhile, Yanwu shielded his eyes from the blinding sunlight. He began to read the information. The tutorial floor can be classified into two areas, the inner area and the outer area. The inner area refers to the first areas from Section A to Section D, designed to help new players realize their skill level and train what they lack. The outer area refers to the later areas from Section E to Section G, testing the skills that players trained in the inner area and certifying their proficiency. A notification appeared. The challenge for Section E will now begin. Yanwu was astonished. Another piece of information appeared. You have been granted a token. He looked in hand. I had a blue token. The system panel displayed many tokens are hidden throughout Section E. They can also be transferred or traded between players. Collect tokens to determine your qualifications. Khan looked at the token in hand. Yanwu complained, it annoys me every time I see that. He realized this meant it was possible to threaten or even kill others to take their tokens. The system provided information to obtain tokens. You can do assigned missions or you can steal from other players. Yanwu mumbled to find hidden tokens throughout Section E is a difficult task. Instead, hiding and ambushing other players, then killing them to steal tokens will be much easier. He recalled my younger brother had a difficult time dealing with such a problem. But what made Athea different from other teams was that despite all temptations, they passed Section E just by collecting hidden tokens without any betrayal in the team. Suddenly, Yanwu's gaze shifted attention. He thought to himself, Khan and Doyle just stared at their tokens, and they were not interested in taking it. It seems they had collected quite a few tokens before returning to the B floor, or they might have collected all 99 tokens. Yanwu turned to say, I have finished reading the message. So let's move, he said. He was looking for a hidden piece in Section E, right? So let's finish it now. Then I still have to go find my tokens, Khan replied. Yes, but there is quite a distance from here to there. It will take some time until we get there. Floor E boasts a large area and is much wider than the previous 4 sections combined. Thanks to this, each area has its own geographical characteristics in a different environment, forming a unique ecosystem. Black rocky mountains were arranged behind an arid desert along the east, and a river flowed through the prairie stretching to the west. Small hills extended to the south. A vast forest covered the northern area, and at the end of the forest was a muddy swamp. And each area also had many monsters. Small monsters like goblins and kobolds formed villages around the forest. They shared food there, forming a population. But larger monsters like trolls and ogres lived deep in the forest. Lizardmen, sangong, and orc settlements were once seen in the northern swamp, the eastern desert, and the western prairie. The challenge is to search for tokens while dealing with monsters and protecting your tokens from players. These are even more dangerous than these monsters. Both are important. And now we are heading towards the northern swamp. In the armory, the reply echoed yes. Bin asked in astonishment. You said he went with Khan and Doyle. Why are those two with him and in Section E? The soldier bowed. I apologize, sir, but we have not yet confirmed the exact events. I have only just received notification that they are heading north of the forest. He frowned and shouted, So why am I only hearing about this now? He equivocated. The reports came from an earlier section, so we thought it was not important. Bin slammed the table hard and loudly shouted, So what does that mean? Have they teamed up? The soldier panicked. I'm afraid of our assumption. He gnashed his teeth, thinking, so he has someone behind him. Doyle, those filthy people. Bin, unable to swallow his anger, thought to himself they must have recruited the masked guy, even though they knew he had caused trouble with Orangdan. This is clearly causing war with Orangdan, or even with Wado, with a disdainful attitude. He ordered, "Go to where he is, gather all members." The soldier replied, "All of them are currently waiting outside." Bin said, "We will proceed to his location as soon as possible." Scene change. A burning bonfire crackled. Yanwu was sitting next to it thinking, since joining this strange game, I probably haven't had a moment to rest, let alone masturbate. He looked up at the sky. Thankfully. It's a twin constellation. Not a single star, I thought to myself. I went through a lot of hardships to get to this floor. Time passes so quickly. Yanwu's eyes suddenly focused on something. He looked at the sleeping Khan, muttering, "What an interesting duo. What is their relationship? I am sure they are not brothers." Then I looked at Doyle Day. After day, those two always faced so many dangers, but it is certain that they treat each other like blood brothers. Yanwu exclaimed, "Truly. Admirable. Doyle has intelligence, while Khan is strong in combat." Khan occasionally revealed a glimpse of his excellent swordsmanship. It was powerful, sharp, and fierce. It seemed to achieve a balance between magnificence and practicality. As for the boy, I remarked, Doyle is also like that. The boy always has dull and sleepy eyes, but sometimes the boy shows a sharp look, and then the boy shows his keen and flexible judgment. Yanwu said the teamwork the duo displayed was like two perfectly meshed gears. It was nothing short of impressive. It looked like they had learned or practiced before, but they had developed a certain kind of connection that instinctively told them what the next action would be. I admired those two who were very willing to trust each other. This relationship could never happen without mutual trust. Perhaps that is how it is. Yanwu thought to himself, a truly admirable relationship. I can't understand why they decided to join this game. In his eyes containing a flame, he was certain that they would always be together. Yanwu was happy. It's good that they can still be together to support each other. Suddenly, he remembered something. Looking at them made me think of my younger brother. The fire of hatred swelled in my heart. Yanwu thought I tried not to think about it, but looking at them, I felt I had to avenge my brother quickly. Suddenly something caught his attention. Yanwu wondered, "Why are you awake? You still have a little time before your turn." He stretched and replied, "How can I sleep if it's too noisy around here?" Doyle yawned broadly and asked, "How long do you plan to leave them like that?" Khan replied, "I plan to eliminate them when they get closer. I apologize for letting them wake you up." He smiled kindly and said, "It's okay. I also want to move my body a bit because lately I rarely participate in a battle." Suddenly both Doyle's eyes and tone changed, asking, "Brother, I wonder if you think they know we're here?" He started to stretch and wondered, is there a problem? Then he drew the sword from his side. Khan got into a ready stance and spoke. "More important than them, they are enemies pointing swords at us." He swung his sword hard into the bushes, blood splattered, dyeing it red. A desperate scream rang out. A soldier fell to the ground. The rest of the group panicked, shouting, "Damn it! How did they notice us here split up? It's more dangerous if we huddle together." Khan had no intention of sparing anyone. His sharp eyes quickly darted forward. He swung his sword gently past each one, scolding, "I've got eyes, you fools." Yanwu was surprised when the insects appeared from nowhere. He extended his arm. The insects immediately followed orders. Looking at Doyle controlling the insects with an unusually cold demeanor, he secretly praised, "Is that an insect taming skill? That's a pretty strong skill, kid." The soldiers covered in insects screamed, "Damn it, damn insects, get away from me, get out." The quiet forest now only echoed with painful screams. Suddenly he discovered something. Two men were preparing to ambush Yanwu. Doyle scoffed those idiots out of all options. They chose the worst, utterly foolish. As they approached him from behind, he thought to himself, "These fools, one strike and their lives are over. Brothers, 1 minute of silence." It's very likely that other groups are plundering on this E-floor. They truly enjoy this dirty work. Under the guise of taking tokens, they steal players' wealth items and other things. Afterward, the items are divided among the group members themselves to significantly increase combat power. If lucky enough, they even obtain a few skill books. Tokens can be sold to top-ranked players at a very high price. Additionally, there are a few places that require slaves. They buy from workers or slaves to prostitutes' livestock, and even human specimens for experimental purposes. They use human bodies for many dark purposes, so they don't have to worry about where to sell prisoners. Of course, who wouldn't want to make money from such a lucrative business? Also, I am a teammate of top-ranked players Khan and Doyle. The pierced man raised a dagger, approaching step by step. No one knew how many tokens they were holding, or the items that the two top-ranked players asked them to keep. He used all his strength to stab Yanwu from behind. Unexpectedly, the pierced man's stab only hit a log. He didn't understand what the hell happened. Someone yelled boss, but I had already sent him to meet his ancestors. The whole group panicked. What the hell is he, boss? Two fearless men charged forward, yelling loudly, "You son of a bitch, go to hell!" Yanwu calmly assumed a stance. The two were quickly dealt with by him, only shouts of painful screams remained. Another tried to resist. Yanwu gently dodged the attack, then delivered a blow from under the neck upwards. Blood splattered along the cutting path. The remaining men screamed in fear. "Mother, run fast." His eyes were sharp and cold. On the ground, only dry corpses remained as Yanwu drained their energy, counting a total of 21 people. He marveled, 81 tokens. Perhaps this hunt wasn't bad. Doyle was astonished. "That's amazing. This is the first time I've seen someone earn tokens as fast as you." He said all these 81 tokens must have been stolen from other players. More than 1,000 people have been here searching for tokens and fighting them. 81 is a small number compared to 1,000. Yanwu spoke. But that can only be because they are hyenas. Most players with 10 tokens or less are robbers. Killing them is right. Doyle agreed. That's right. Section E has a winner-takes-all hierarchy. The minority of strong players will take tokens from the majority of weak players. Weak players have no other choice but to give up their tokens to survive. Even if they compensate for the loss, they will eventually be stolen from again. No matter what they do, the strong only need to sit still and pile up tokens at a dizzying speed. On the other hand, tokens are used to exchange karma points. Therefore, the weak can only give up or accept the fate of being hunted. That's why there is quite a large gap between high-ranked players and other players. He exclaimed, "Anyway, collect as many tokens as possible. We will use them to earn karma points, as well as buy items from mysterious merchants." Doyle suddenly asked casually, "By the way, can you take all those tokens?" I heard him and was confused. "You are suggesting that we did not pay you before we made the agreement. Should I think of it as a payment?" Yanwu gently said, "You two also need karma." Doyle laughed loudly. "Are you worried about us? We already have enough for ourselves, so that is really fine." He appreciated. "Then thank you both with all my sincerity." Yanwu put the bag into his backpack, thinking this was easier than expected. He mumbled, "If I try a bit more, I can move to Section F." Of course, I wouldn't actually do that. There is nothing hot in Section F that helps collect more karma. Section E is almost the last place I can collect in large quantities. Yanwu sat thinking. Furthermore, that thing will also appear here, that which will significantly increase my magic power. Then I can complete the succession process. He thought, once I kill the lizard man leader, I will go kill that thing. In the sky, 2 moons lay close together. They prepared firewood to restart the fire. Khan said, "The monsters ahead are extremely dangerous. I think we should be careful." Yanwu thought to himself, "I need to speed up." Suddenly he saw something. Yanwu silently watched Doyle using his skill to control the insects. He asked them to gather the fire. I was astonished. "Impressive, kid." He said, "I call it flamel. They will self-immolate to defend themselves when they encounter enemies or when I control them." Doyle asked. "You seem quite surprised," Yanwu thought to himself. "Can this be called magic?" It was already light and everyone continued fighting. This time I was fighting with a giant lizard monster. After a period of fighting, the ground was covered with monster corpses. Khan, seeing Yanwu using a knife to cut off their heads, wondered, "What else do you want to loot from them?" I replied, "Their eyeballs. Lizardman eyeballs are a very useful item for creating certain items." Yanwu said it was an artifact named after a giant believed to have hundreds of arms and thousands of eyes. I need their eyes to create the artifact, Jay's eyes. Doyle was surprised to see something. He stammered, "Wait, this is..." Khan's face darkened. "It seems a battle just happened here." Doyle looked at the bloody footprints on the ground. He reached out his hand to touch the ground to check. Yanwu saw the fresh bloodstains and said it hasn't been long since the clash occurred. He predicted 5 hours. "No, about 6 hours ago." Khan confusingly mumbled, 6 hours hidden pieces. Literally, have to be hidden. They are only valuable when hidden, and play an important role in boosting players' morale, as well as encouraging them to acquire them, so as not to be left behind. He anxiously asked, did these people succeed so hidden pieces in the tutorial floor never appear again in the same round once they are found and acquired by players? Additionally, there is something else they want to obtain by using the crown, which is an essential element for two people who are plotting something quite big. Therefore, the interference of other players is not good news. Yanwu coldly replied, there are only traces of entry, but no traces of people leaving here. And it's clear that those who came here did not find Hargan's lair. Khan exclaimed, what do you mean? He immediately pointed down at the tracks. Look here. Very clear tracks were visible on the ground. Yanwu speculated those are traces of something heavy being dragged on the ground, perhaps the body of a player. I think the lizardmen used bait and lured them here. Khan wondered. And then what? I replied. No one knows what happened next. Yanwu explained, monsters are not always prey. There are times when monsters become hunters and view players as their prey. This place is their home. They know advantageous geographical locations, good for ambushing players. Of course, there will be traps lying around. This is definitely related to those traps. Khan angrily cursed, those damn monsters, we should be more careful. He thought to himself, I thought he was very naive, but he can remain calm in necessary situations like this. Suddenly Yanwu saw something. I saw Doyle was very angry about what the monsters had caused. Doyle unexpectedly saw Yanwu looking at him. He immediately changed his expression and smiled friendly. This made me feel confused. Khan said, we haven't told you anything about this place, have we? Yanwu thought to himself, until now I have pretended not to know, so now I must continue to pretend. Besides, I want to see how much they know about Hargan's lair and what plans they have in mind. Khan said, this place is called Hargan's lair. I feigned ignorance. Lair, you mean? He replied, yes. Do you remember the lizard man we dealt with on the way here? Hargan is one of its leaders, the one who rules a king like Hargan, and this is where Hargan resides. Yanwu marveled. It seems Hargan is very strong, Khan agreed. Certainly we two probably can't kill it either. I wondered even with me, the game hacker. He hesitated. I'm not sure about that, but it will still be very difficult. Additionally, there is a female in this lair. This one is even stronger than the male. Khan affirmed. One thing is certain. No matter how hard we try, the three of us cannot kill both bosses. We will die in vain. Yanwu asked. So what is our plan? He replied without hesitation, theft. Khan explained. The male is outside the lair and the female is inside. While I deal with the male, you will distract the female. Then Doyle will take the crown from its head. We will coordinate smoothly and easily, Yanwu continued to ask. And then what he said, we will run away from here. As I said, the female is ridiculously strong. You cannot kill it by yourself. Yanwu replied, understood. He mumbled, I have completed my mission on the African battlefield. Yanwu recalled old memories. This is no different from that. The only difference is, I used to be a simple soldier controlled by orders from superiors, but now I am like a mercenary controlled by money. Khan shouted loudly, let's begin. The system panel appeared. You have entered the battlefield. You have found the hidden piece, Hargan's lair. You have gained 500 karma. They walked over and saw 4 monsters guarding the front of the lair. One of them whistled an alarm. Humans, there are humans here. His party also got into a ready stance. Suddenly a blue leg appeared. Suddenly the system announced, hidden boss monster lizardman leader Hargan has appeared. It roared, humans, you dare to enter my lair. You must die, you cannot escape me, son. The system displayed hidden quest lizardmen leader in section E. There are 5 leaders ruling in the forest. Hargan is the leader of the lizardmen, the one who possesses the northern swamp defeat. All chiefs and kill the lizardmen leader. Reward Hargan's crown. Blue scale scimitar ownership of Hargan's lair. The hidden boss charged, yelling to be continued. Yanwu, hearing its roar, thought to himself, what kind of monster is this? It roared with the fear I felt when I was first brought to the battlefield in Africa. The boiling tension made my right hand holding the dagger soaked with sweat. Yanwu mumbled the monster with incredibly terrifying power. His sharp eyes were confident, but now I have enough ability. Looking into those eyes, the hidden boss was astonished, but then it regained its composure. Immediately after the hidden boss picked up its sword, it quickly charged, yelling loudly, "I will kill you, human." It was then that Khan charged out, astonishing him. He parried its attack, causing the slash to slide to the ground. The hidden boss roared, "Human, get out of my way, you are just a small fry." Khan sneered, "I'm sorry, but I am not the me of yesterday." Before he could finish speaking, it swung its sword at Khan, but he quickly dodged. It saw that its expression displeased. The hidden boss even slashed its own soldiers, but still missed Khan, humiliated to the point of madness, roaring loudly, "Don't dodge and face me." A soldier, seeing the leader losing composure, spoke up, "Please calm down, sir." Seizing the opportunity, Yanwu and Doyle snuck inside. He worried about him, kept looking out of the cave entrance to check on his brother's situation. Inside there were still monsters guarding, but they were just crippled soldiers. I threw a dagger one into each of their heads. Doyle was incredibly surprised by Yanwu's dagger-throwing ability. Suddenly both heard a voice. That is a human. They looked over and saw countless human bones and many living people trapped behind iron bars. Looking at the ground, there were bloodied bones, some remains after the monsters had feasted on humans. The trapped people screamed, "Save me, please, please, save me, save me." I thought to myself, limbs severed from bodies, faces showing expressions of extreme pain they had endured, flesh fragments and bloodstains scattered everywhere. It was a completely barbaric scene. There were also others bound with chains and locked in cages like pets. One person in the cage yelled, "Save me, you stupid punk with spiky hair, save me." Yanwu thought, indeed, whether on Earth or here, everything is the same. Is there any difference in how humans treat pigs and cows and how they treat humans? He turned and said, "The female lizardman can appear at any time. I will go find her, so you should hide somewhere." Then he saw Doyle's expression. There was something very strange. He spoke, calling brother. Doyle seemed to lose his composure and asked, "Are you angry?" Yanwu was confused. "Angry?" he replied. "Yes, angry. How can you be so calm after seeing this?" Looking at that expression, I thought to myself, that's right, the kid is just a child. Or did I kick his mother in there, just to die by myself? Doyle questioned. "You are also a human, a person who cannot be human. If they are not angry about this, then why are you so calm?" Yanwu said. "But if we save them, Khan will be in danger." The answer silenced him. He reminded him, "Don't forget, Khan is still fighting Hargan outside. He cannot last long. Fighting Hargan alone, and the longer we stay here, the more danger Khan faces. Yanwu, Doyle, keep calm and think about priorities. But if you still want to act on your own, I will immediately quit this job. You two might die just because you let emotions cloud your judgment." After hearing this, he fell silent in contemplation. I also silently watched how this kid would make a decision. Doyle hesitated for a very long time, then he used his own hand to slap his face to wake himself up. Doyle regained confidence, admitting, "I'm sorry I was thoughtless." He stepped forward, saying, "Let's get back to the main task. Khan is still waiting for us outside." Yanwu thought, wait. He looked down at the pile of bones on the ground, thinking Hargan's reason for making a human farm is to feed their offspring. I should use that to my advantage. Yanwu spoke. "Wait." Doyle didn't understand what was happening. I asked for his opinion. "I just had a good idea. Can I modify our plan a little?" Yanwu said, "If things go smoothly, we can also save the people trapped here." Hearing this, his eyes lit up with joy. He proposed, "I need you to use your skills and I need more fire to cook the eggs." Tarragon's large staff struck the lizardman hard. The powerful blow sent the lizardman flying into the wall. Targan angrily shouted, "Human, how dare you enter my lair?" It held a large staff in its hand, its red skin and extremely fierce eyes. The Targan feared my children. Perhaps they came for my children. It pointed at the lizardman, ordering, You protect my children, even if you die. You must protect my children." Suddenly, Yanwu spoke, drawing Targan's attention. "Hey, female lizardman." I remained calm, looking at it. Then Yanwu held up a bag and asked Targan, "Do you like fireworks?" It heard that and panicked. "What do you mean?" Without hesitation, Yanwu threw the bag towards Targan's children, catching it off guard. Targan angrily shrieked, "What the hell are you doing?" It quickly ran and used its staff to block the bag. But the next thing was what surprised it the most. Yonwoo thought to himself, that was the powder made from the monsters I hunted in the ice and fire room. Then I called loudly, Doyle. In his heart, Yonwoo gently told Doyle, use Flamel towards that side kid. Immediately, Targan was attacked by the flame Doyle created. It could do nothing but scream. It furiously yelled, you maggots. But suddenly something made it panic. In just a flash, Yonwoo was already standing at the nest of the young ones in his hand. I was holding one. Yonwoo held the knife to the young one's neck. After one cut, I made the young one log out. Targan, seeing its child like that, roared loudly, how dare you do that? I will make you follow my child. Yonwoo, still fearless, put the young one down and said, if you treat humans as pets. His hand quickly picked up another sleeping young one. Yonwoo continued to repeat the process as before, his mouth still sarcastic. Targan, you should be aware that this can also happen to you, right? Targan fearfully ran over, still yelling, get your hands off that human. Suddenly it stopped, looking down. Its foot stepped on the pile of powder from earlier. Targan was burned by the fire again. It screamed in pain. In a moment, Targan was destroyed. The system announced, you have killed boss monster Targan. The female lizardman leader, additional karma will be provided. The lizardmen were demoralized. The monsters in Hargan's lair entered a state of panic. Yonwoo walked closer to Targan and told Doyle, get the crown quickly, we must hurry and join Khan outside. In him, I was calm but still urged Doyle, we don't have time. He quickly replied, I understand. Yonwoo said we need to get out of here quickly. The crown looked incredibly precious. Doyle was captivated, looking at the crown, finally got it. Suddenly there was a loud noise that caught both their attention. Hargan had returned to the lair. It yelled loudly, questioning, how did you get in here? Why did you kill them? Hargan painfully knelt before Targan's body. It collapsed, crying out, Targan, my children. At this moment, Khan was still panting from just running into the lair. He was a little surprised to see the scene before his eyes. Hargan held his wife in his arms, furiously screaming, why was she killed by lowly humans? Suddenly it brought Targan's head close to its own. Yonwoo and the two others were stunned by its action. The system displayed a notification, boss monster Hargan, lizardman leader, has used absorption. Hargan has successfully stolen power from Targan, the female lizardman leader. The mutation is complete. The second heatwave attack was activated. Hargan's body rapidly grew larger. In a moment, it had completely transformed, becoming more powerful. Yonwoo was astonished monster. Hargan slammed its weapon into the ground, so strong that it cracked the ground. Its two eyes were bloodshot. A massive stream of power radiated around its body. Yonwoo immediately hid behind a rock. I thought its power cannot be underestimated now. A special skill. I calculated it will follow us no matter where we run, even if we burrow underground. Plus its skill makes it not easy for me to escape. We need to do something right now. What should I do to defeat it? Yonwoo was deep in thought about what to do in this situation when a small butterfly flew over, whispering to him, Hyung, can you hear me? Yonwoo asked in surprise, Kid, is that Doyle? The butterfly replied, this is indeed a help. I wondered if it would work, but it's certainly perfect. By the way, have you thought of any solution for this yet? Yonwoo quickly asked Doyle for a favor. Kid, can you tell Khan about this plan? He immediately replied, if you want, I will send it to him. Yonwoo praised, good, do it quickly. On Hargan's side, it had gone mad. Humans, you bastards, show yourselves, you lowly ones. Suddenly, Yonwoo stopped hiding and jumped in front of it. He provoked, come here, kiddo. Hargan charged like a whirlwind. I will finish you right here. Yonwoo seized the opportunity using his dragon eye power. Hargan immediately froze in place. Without hesitation, Yonwoo used a small dagger to block Hargan's large blade. It couldn't defend in time and stumbled forward. The blade cut deeply into the ground. Yonwoo shouted loudly, Doyle, Khan, now fight. Khan quickly charged out. He swung his sword, powerfully slashing Hargan. It cried out in pain. Doyle also used his power to release the flamels. He burned Hargan as he had done with Targan earlier. It became even angrier and felt intense pain. You bastards! Yonwoo was a little relieved. Thanks to the coordination of the three, this monster's power had been significantly reduced. Hargan's eyes were fiercer than before. It threatened. How dare you do that to me? It won't be long. I will send you to hell. Yonwoo was worried again. Now if I miscalculate one step, it's very easy to be in danger. Hargan held the sword with both hands, looking incredibly fearsome. Yanwu thought to himself. This Hargan is going crazy. He held the knife and charged towards Hargan. Yanwu blocked Hargan's attack, but it was incredibly enraged. Lowly humans, you must die. Next Khan charged Hargan furiously yelled these bastards. Another flame shot out, leaving it no time to react. It could only scream in vain. After a while it was exhausted, panting. Hargan still tried to yell, I must avenge Hargan, my children. Yanwu gripped his weapon tightly. He thought this is the moment. A cut slashed across Hargan's leg, it cried out loudly. Hargan knelt, using its blade to support itself. From behind, Yanwu's hand touched Hargan's head. It angrily said, eat it, my hack skill. The system appeared, notification, blood-sucking sword battery increased by 4%. Hargan's vitality and energy were being absorbed. Hargan screamed in the large flame, I will kill you, I will kill you. Yanwu absorbed Hargan's power. This power was so immense that his mask cracked. Khan and Doyle, witnessing this, were astonished. How what? Hargan still threatened good, but you won't live long either. It weakly leaned its hand on the blade, speaking its last words. Targan, my children, I'm sorry, I am truly useless. Its hand shriveled and dried up, letting go. The system displayed a notification. You have successfully eliminated boss monster Hargan. Additional karma will be provided. Bathory's blood sword successfully absorbed power and obtained certain skills from the target. You have learned the skill Heatwave. Hargan was defeated by Yanwu. The system helped explain the information. Bathory's blood sword skill too low, adjusting obtained skill. The Heatwave skill has been adjusted to the skill Transference of Flame. Transference of Flame rating. Not added to proficiency, 0%, skill description. Hargan's innate skill. King of Lizards used on one's own weapon to create a flame. Higher fire and temperature can be created depending on the skill's proficiency level. As I read the information, Yanwu thought this is an innate skill and it's an enhancement skill. I will have to check it later. Suddenly, Yanwu swayed, unable to stand steadily. Khan and Doyle quickly ran to him. Hey, hey! Khan supported Yanwu, then asked with concern, Are you okay, brother? Doyle worriedly said, Yan, please sit down for a bit. You don't look very well. Yanwu only replied, Don't worry too much. I'm really fine, just tired, but it will get better. But Doyle continued to pull his arm, saying rest. Khan also agreed that's right. Yanwu helplessly thought these two are really. I could only reply, Don't worry too much, I'm really fine. Yanwu reminded Doyle, But there are still people there. Go save them quickly. They might be in danger from the fire. At this moment, he suddenly remembered. In the dark cave, a torch was lit. The trapped people profusely thanked. Thank you very much. Truly. Thank you all very much. A man joyfully burst into tears. He kept saying, I want to thank everyone once again. Thank you. Without you, we probably would have died. We have avenged our fallen comrades. Khan and Doyle smiled, replying, It's good that everyone is safe. The man suddenly asked, By the way, you look quite like the person I admire, Khan. Are you? Khan joyfully laughed loudly when he was recognized. I tried to keep it a secret. He happily laughed. Doyle sighed, thinking, Brother, do you have no shame left? Meanwhile, the two other men were still surprised, telling each other, He is really Khan. I only just heard about him. That's great. Khan held up his hand to correct. But unfortunately, I am not the one who defeated Hargan. I just helped. He pointed towards Yanwu, who was sitting, then said, He is the one who defeated Hargan. The two other men, seeing Yanwu, seemed rather displeased. They recalled when they were imprisoned by Hargan. Seeing Yanwu and Doyle standing talking together, they remembered his face. Khan, seeing their reaction, wondered, What's wrong? He recounted. When we were trapped in there, he was the one who abandoned us and left. He angrily said, He is truly despicable, we don't want to go near him. Khan immediately cursed, Shut up, you idiots. His eyes looked at him angrily. The man stammered in fear, What's wrong? Khan warned, Don't let me hear that again. He pointed at the man and said, He is the one who found a way to save you all, and he is also the one who destroyed Hargan and is currently severely injured. Otherwise, you would still be in that iron cage. Think before you speak, you bastard. He trembled with indignation at Khan's words. If you dare to insult him again, I am not sure your life will be spared. He looked towards the others. They all turned away, avoiding his gaze. Having no other choice, he could only bow his head in apology. I am truly sorry, Khan made him repeat. I still haven't heard clearly, he said in the same tone as before. I said, I'm sorry. Khan looked towards Yanwu, then told him go over there and tell him. He walked up to Yanwu, forced to bow his head. I did not think before I spoke. I was wrong. I am truly sorry. Yanwu just sat there saying nothing. The strong and the weak were clearly demonstrated at this very moment. In his heart, he was still thinking this bastard. He secretly said to himself, I was trapped by those guys. Otherwise, how could this happen? He still wondered why no one spoke up at that time. Suddenly someone called, Sir. He turned around. What? The subordinate comforted. I apologize for not being able to help you, but we are still alive. Isn't this something to be happy about? He angrily said, I don't care. You'd best stay as far away from me as possible. The man still tried to add, Don't be like that, sir. Please listen to me. The subordinate whispered something to him. Sir, don't you need more karma tokens or artifacts? Hearing that, he was surprised. Huh. The man looked at Khan and Doyle, then said, There are many treasures here. Do you want to take them? The two brothers still knew nothing and talked to each other as usual. The brown-haired man asked again, What do you mean? His subordinate replied, What do you mean? We need to do this to survive. He was astonished to hear this. To survive, you want to kill the people who saved us. He still disagreed with the subordinate. We will not kill anyone. How can we fight them? Fighting them is like self-destruction, but the subordinate still tried to persuade. And then what? The man gave a reason. The monsters took all our things, and now we have nothing on us. I mean, now, if we go out there, we'll just rob everyone, right? The man continued. So let's steal enough to survive independently, and then we'll escape. The brown-haired man still worried. What if we get caught? They will kill us. The subordinate tried to sway him again. We are likely to die whether we steal the artifact or not. However, he still hesitated. But if we do it my way, the chances of survival will be higher. The subordinate smiled sinisterly and said, One of your friends has the characteristic of being quick-handed. He is capable of taking the things we want. What do you think, my boss? After a moment of contemplation, he also smiled and said, Let's play. At this moment, Khan was talking with Yanwu. Khan said, Doyle and I will take Hargan's crown as promised. Right? I think this is when we need it. Khan asked, Do you have any opinion on this? Yanwu calmly replied, Okay, everyone can take it. Khan happily leaned close to Yanwu, joking, Thank you, brother. I knew you were a good person. Yanwu coldly said, Stop joking. But Khan continued to joke with him. What a shy person. Khan happily told his brother Doyle, Go ahead and take it. Looking at them, Yanwu secretly thought, These fools. I closed my eyes, telling myself, but they are all really good people. Yanwu turned to look at something. I looked at the sword stuck in the ground. Meanwhile, Khan still spoke. Everything in here belongs to you, as we promised. The system displayed information: large blue greatsword classified as a two-handed weapon rating, D+ description, Hargan's favorite weapon, king of lizards. The weapon is filled with fire elements. It is a highly durable weapon that destroys everything it touches. However, the weapon's weight is quite large, so the weapon will not move without enough muscle strength. Yanwu was not interested in it. This weapon truly does not suit me at all. Next is the ownership of Hargan's lair. You have rights to all objects and resources in this lair. 1 is Hargan's crown. 2 is the war cry. Acts 3 are 3 hard crystals and many other things. Yanwu was quite satisfied. Perhaps these items will become useful for me later. Karshuna's dagger classified as a one-handed weapon rating, D- description. A dagger used by another unnamed player throughout his life, made from common materials, but the blade became hard because the player's will still remained in it. Weapon damage will increase depending on the player's proficiency. Finally, there was something that interested him, at least among them, something worth using. Yanwu, holding the knife, thought, Even if they are scrap, I can sell them for a high price. Suddenly, he looked up. Doyle saw that and wondered, Is something wrong? Hyung Yanwu? There is something approaching here? Really strange. Suddenly a voice spoke, You will get a stiff neck if you keep looking at me like that. Doyle looked curious without blinking. A blue circle appeared on the ceiling. Inside the circle, a voice said, I was seen. I was planning a surprise for you, brother. What a strange player. It turned out to be I. He happily greeted Yanwu. Hello, I came to visit you. Doyle wondered to Yanwu, Do you know that mysterious merchant? I only replied with 2 words, a little. These words made I a bit sad. Hey, brother, you disappoint me. You and I were so close. How could you forget so quickly? I also greeted both Khan and Doyle. Oh, and it's good to see you two again. Khan, Doyle. The last time we met was probably when we bought tickets to another floor, right? Khan just indifferently replied. I still remember the time I bought tickets to another floor with points. I felt so ashamed. Khan secretly mused. To befriend a mysterious merchant is very simple. You just need to be among the top 10 strongest players or be acknowledged by him. He looked at Yanwu, then guessed it seems he is one of the recognized ones. It was Ai's turn to wonder. By the way, do you mind sharing how you saw me? I was very confident in my hiding ability. Yanwu coldly replied, It would be foolish if I didn't notice you when you were staring at me like that. I looked sad. I understand. You won't say it. Without beating around the bush, Yanwu went straight to the point. The ownership of this lair, I will take 150 tokens. Hearing that I intended to bargain down, oh my, you're bargaining with me too. You know those top players. But before he could finish his sentence, Yanwu increased the price 160 tokens. I was astonished. No way. Yanwu immediately added money. 100. I forced a smile too expensive, then offered a higher price 200. I looked calm, but in his heart I must have been in turmoil. You think you can sell it to us at that price? Yanwu didn't hesitate and raised the price again. 300. If you don't buy it, I will blow up the lair, and I bet there are a lot of magic stones here, right? Yanwu slowly said these magic stones seem to be very much needed by merchants like you, right? I awkwardly negotiated magic stones seem to be very easy to find here. Yanwu continued making I speechless, and I don't think you can find pure stones over 70. I guess I have to blow them all up. In his heart, Yanwu was also pondering, magic stones are a basic means of storing and providing mana. It is similar to electrical conductors on Earth. Stones with high purity will sell for higher prices. That is why hidden merchants pay attention to Hargan's lair. Of course I can mine them myself, but the higher the purity, the more complex the mining process becomes. The harder something is, the more valuable it is. That is the law of this world. My younger brother also found this meaningless after learning the secret. A still tried to bargain. However, 300 tokens are too expensive for that. He was immediately cut off by Yanwu. 400. Yanwu told himself, if I wanted, I wouldn't sell. But I really need time to earn tokens. At this point, I didn't dare to bargain anymore and just begged, okay, stop, I will pay. Stop raising the price. I don't want my heart to break anymore. Yanwu then said, good, I will sell it for 405 tokens. 5 tokens for my wasted time. I collapsed. This is the first time I've been saved so completely. The system notified Yanwu, you have sold the blue greatsword and the ownership of Hargan's lair. You have received 405 tokens. Total, 698 tokens. A slumped his face, complaining, I was tricked. I have nothing left. Only the two brothers, Khan and Doyle, were still astonished. Yanwu turned to the sullen Io and one more thing. I questioned, what else do you want from me? Yanwu gently replied, it seems I bullied you a bit too much anyway. I have something I need to buy. He said I also forgot about this, hearing that Ai's face brightened considerably. What is it? Yanwu pointed to his mask. You see, it's been destroyed. I need something similar. Ai immediately turned his face away, as if he wanted to scold Yanwu fiercely. But I still introduced T. I have something like that exchanged for 4 of your status points, Yanwu immediately replied. Of course. I was annoyed again, Yanwu said to himself. Like that, couldn't you speak more gently? Yanwu indifferently said, it's not that important to me. The flame of anger had ignited. Then he snapped his fingers and said, I will give you a more special mask than a regular mask, okay? And next time if you bully me again, I won't play with you anymore. The system provided information. Face of the white ghost classified as a mask rating. E+ description. A mask with many souls inside. Using it creates an eerie atmosphere, allowing the player to hide their presence, not easy to remove if damaged. Just use another soul to replace it. Yanwu quickly changed his mask, and I was also preparing to leave. The mask fit perfectly on his face. Yanwu thought with satisfaction, oh, I rate this mask quite highly. A mask with self-healing ability is truly suitable for me. A notification appeared. You have the face of the white ghost. Before I left, Yanwu still added one more word. Thank you very much, I calmly replied. You're welcome. It's my job. I then told Yanwu, by the way. I wondered when you set the price for the magic stones, it seemed you knew something. Did you know what was going on inside here? I wondered when you set the price for the magic stones, it seemed you knew something. Did you know what was going on inside here? Only Yanwu remained standing there. He thought magic stones are basic materials for crafting high-grade items, and the quantity is very low. However, despite being sold at an exorbitant price, that merchant still bought them. He guessed this means that the demand for use and crafting of these magic stones is very high. The number of players is fixed. Therefore, there is only one reason for this. There is only one reason for this. There is only one reason to mass-produce weapons, that is a bloody war seems about to break out. Yanwu thought to himself, they can form a temporary alliance, but peace will not exist among this pack of wolves. Suddenly Khan walked over and asked Yanwu, what will you do next? Yanwu asked in confusion. Do what Khan explained. I want to know about your next schedule. What is your plan? Will you collect enough tokens to go to floor F? Yanwu didn't answer immediately but thought, first I should check the current ranking. I have reached 52nd place. Yanwu secretly marveled, my rank has changed rapidly. I still have something more important to do. That is to destroy this next boss. I need its power to continue advancing. I need to get there as fast as possible. Then he replied to Khan, I want to go straight to floor F. Khan happily asked, then do you want, but stopped due to Yanwu's next sentence, but I still have something to deal with. Khan asked again, a private matter to do, Yanwu replied, yes. Khan's face darkened, but Doyle still happily asked, brother, do you want to join my team? Yanwu was surprised by Doyle's words. Join you guys. Doyle immediately replied, yes, until the tutorial floor ends. Doyle added another sentence. No, even when we enter the tower. Yanwu asked again, with you two? Doyle explained. Actually, Khan and I have talked about this many times. He excitedly said, you and we are really compatible. Perhaps all three of us should cooperate. I believe we will become the strongest team. Doyle repeated the offer once more. I hope you will join my team, but Yanwu shook his head, refusing. No, I can't. Doyle sadly asked, may I ask you why? Yanwu only replied, as I said, I still have something to do. Doyle wondered, but you can still join after that is dealt with, right? Yanwu also added another reason he doesn't like forming teams, because he is not very comfortable with being tied down. Doyle could only give up. So that's it. I understand. Khan comforted him. We can't force him, kid. Everyone has their own preferences, and this will happen often when we enter the tower. So cheer up, okay? Khan asked Yanwu again. Anyway, you're still with us until we get out of here, right? He forced a smile and said, then let's go out. Everyone is waiting outside. Yanwu walked, thinking this northern swamp is very vast. It might take a long time to get out of here. He just killed a lizard. There are still many lizards everywhere, so perhaps I should go with them. Other players are hiding behind. If they separate from here, they will die. Khan has no choice but to follow them, and it's not comfortable at all. Yanwu turned back and asked Khan, what will you do with those people now? Khan looked at them and replied, perhaps I will protect them and get them out of this swamp. Yanwu dissuaded him. It's not your job to keep them safe. Khan was angry to hear Yanwu say this. I have a human heart. How can I leave them in this place? But Yanwu had a different thought. There's something strange about them. Their attitude is too unusual compared to what I thought. Not to mention, there are many monsters here too. I really don't want to stay here any longer. Suddenly a cloaked man approached Doyle and asked, Can you give me some food? Seeing that, Yanwu became even more uneasy. Another thing is that kid is too good to them. Without much thought, Doyle immediately gave him food. Here, take some food, thank you. Yanwu secretly smiled, easier to get than I thought. This kid is so trusting. Alone, I silently observed my thoughts must be right. I need to keep an eye on these guys. The sky was clear and blue. The man who had asked Doyle for food earlier now gave that food to the red-haired man. He handed it over and said, Here's the stuff. I got it from the kid. The red-haired man smiled and replied, Good. He thought his plan seemed to be progressing quite well. If they are discovered, they will kill this guy first, and I will still be safe as usual. He smiled sinisterly. But if I can take down the one ranked 3rd and 11th plus the one who destroyed the Lizardman King, I can claim the first place, a truly perfect plan. The red-haired man licked his lips, looking very disgusting. He was smug, a dream I had longed for. Only when he looked at Yanwu, he felt a little worried, But sometimes I felt that under that white mask, cold eyes were watching me. That was truly worrying. A pair of eyes that saw everything. Could there be a power hidden within that I could not foresee? Another man walked up and said, "Khan, my friend is not feeling well." His voice was heavy, asking, "Can we slow down? We are very tired." Next, a few more men cried out, "I won't move anymore, I can't. I have nothing with me. If I keep going, we will just be food for the monsters." They started to throw tantrums. "If so, I'd rather sit here all day," Khan tiredly thought, a troublesome swarm of flies. The red-haired man saw his opportunity again right now. The blonde man from earlier stepped forward and explained, "Well, I think being imprisoned for so long made them mentally exhausted. I realize you guys are busy, but I think this is a good place to rest for a bit." The red-haired man sneered, Come on, I have many friends waiting to appear. It wasn't just a few people in the open space, but an army of dozens of people waiting to kill you all." His face was cunning, thinking to himself, "It will be soon." Suddenly something approached him. It was Yanwu. I arrived without him knowing. Yanwu looked at him with sharp eyes. Then a shrill scream rang out, catching Khan and Doyle's attention. Yanwu had made the red-haired man log out. The surrounding men panicked, asking, "What the hell?" Yanwu secretly mocked, "They are so naive, a bunch of fools." He immediately attacked the others. They were still astonished. How the hell did he die? Yanwu thought to himself, "I should have killed these guys right from the start." Throughout the journey, he had been watching the two of them. His attitude and actions made me even more suspicious. I knew well, so I actively followed him from behind, then used enhanced senses to observe my surroundings. Then I realized that a group of players was preparing for an ambush in the open space not far away. They had contacted each other. These bastards must be aiming for the items we have. Yanwu chased the others. They ran wildly, while he still thought to himself, "I should deal with these guys as quickly as possible." Suddenly Khan blocked Yanwu and asked, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" Yanwu scolded, "Stop acting like an idiot and look around, Khan." "What are you talking about?" Yanwu didn't explain. "If you don't understand what's happening, then shut up and get out of my way." At this moment, Khan was horrified to see those people had surrounded him and Doyle without him knowing. I hadn't expected anything like this. "Damn it!" Doyle cried out to Yanwu in fear. The two of them were surrounded by those people. The blonde man from earlier was still flustered, asking, "What's happening? Wasn't it just about robbing their stuff?" Another man replied, "You think everything will be that simple? So foolish." He intended to say more. "You guys, why?" But the other man punched him in the face and cursed. "So annoying, get out." Khan, being surrounded, was also extremely confused. Who were these people? He secretly wondered, are they item robbers? At this moment, Yanwu was charging towards those people. He was still speculating they must be the original owners of the human farm. Not all of them were just robbers, but some of them also colluded with the monsters. These guys pretended to be injured and asked nearby players for help to lure them into traps. When successful, they gave human flesh to monsters while they took items and tokens. Perhaps the original players who were stuck on the farm might have been killed. In the forest, there are a few people communicating with each other. If we can catch them, those are the biggest fish we've ever caught. The other end was saying, except for Fanti and Idora, those crazy guys would be happy to eliminate such strong players, not to mention the things they carry. The person listening was Sibzine. The other teammate was still rambling. "The holy blood sword that Khan is holding is the dragon-slaying sword. Right, that's mine." Sibzine cursed. "What the hell, I ordered it in advance, you stupid friend." And the person speaking now is Nyun. "No matter what you say, whoever sees it first keeps it." The other person was Zwei. He interrupted. "You two shut up, the boss will handle the distribution. Everyone will get items. Let's talk about something useful, like how to win the reward from the Lizard King." Zwei impatiently said, "Damn it. He has taken too long now, Sibzane, help me contact him." The other end was silent, not responding. Zwei anxiously, "Sibzane. Sibzane, where are you?" "Neun is Sibzane. There you go first and contact him." Neun had been dealt with. Zwei was still trying to call him Neun. No one answered, making Zwei worried. This means he was scared. Are we being attacked? Zwei jumped up. Did they find out? He thought to himself. Anyway, I'm ranked 15th, so Zwei yelled loudly, "Who are you? Come out now or I will kill you." He hurriedly went to look for his teammates, not realizing someone was near him. What a son of a bitch. Where is he? What is this feeling? Suddenly, Sibzane saw something. It was Sibzane. He was covered in blood. Sibzane warned, "Run." From behind Zwei, Yanwu appeared. He glanced behind him. A pair of terrifying eyes were looking at him. At this moment, Khan was surrounded. He wondered, is this Arangdan? What the hell are they doing? When did they become like this? Suddenly, the other person was attacked from behind. It was Yanwu who arrived. His foot stepped on the back of the robber. Khan wondered to himself again, what? The remaining men were gradually dealt with by Yanwu. They begged, I surrender. Please spare me. Please don't spare me. Doyle used his power to turn them into insects. Khan also helped to deal with them. They, the living ones, desperately begged. We were forced to do what Zwei said. Please believe us. They wanted to bet on Doyle's and Khan's compassion. Based on this, they thought Khan and Doyle might spare their lives. Only a few men remained, pleading, please believe us. Please spare us. We just intended to join to survive this place. Khan asked them with an emotionless gaze, what is the difference between you and the lizards? They were confused. What? Khan leaned closer to their faces, questioning, I am asking, what is the difference between you guys and the lizards? Are you deaf? But those men only begged for mercy. Khan was enraged. Hargan at least cried when he saw his wife and children die. And what about you? You sold ordinary people to monsters, even killed trapped players. Yanwu looked at Khan, thinking he is really angry about this. In times like these, with everyone's emotions stirring their minds, they cannot be comforted at this moment. The best thing is to wait for them to get through this on their own. Yanwu looked at the two brothers who were disheartened. He thought to himself, they thought they had saved the people who were imprisoned by the Lizard King, but unexpectedly, they were surviving robbers. That must have been a huge mental shock for the two of them. Unlike them, I have experienced this many times in Africa. This is nothing, but it's a pity for the kid. They need to grow up to survive this dirty world because here, you cannot trust outsiders. Afterwards, people often fall into one of two categories. They can go crazy or they can become more mature. Khan wondered to Yanwu, how can you be so calm after this? I calmly replied, I'm used to this. Khan asked again, I have no idea about the world you've been through. Are the people in your world like that? Yanwu only silently replied, if they were like that, perhaps the whole world would go crazy. Khan looked down and asked, can I be honest? He shared those crazy bastards. They pretended to be victims, which truly shocked us. Khan said, honestly, we are all a little scared of you. He paused. It's really like that? Yanwu said nothing. Khan was extremely confused. I don't understand how you can remain calm in every situation like this. He tiredly told Yanwu, I couldn't help, but I think you suspected them from the start. Khan secretly asked himself, did he not trust anyone from the beginning? Not even us. Yanwu answered himself. I haven't trusted anyone since coming to this world, not even the two of them who want to build a relationship based on trust. This relationship has become cracked, especially these two people who want to broaden their minds will be hurt if they know I cooperated with them purely as partners. Yanwu thought for a while. Perhaps this is a good time for me to leave. He thought about the memories between the three of them, Khan and Doyle, warm and cozy, both had a great appeal to him. However, they have their own views. I have my own views, so it's best to part ways from here. Yanwu bid farewell to the two of them. Then I'm leaving. But Khan still had many questions in his heart. He didn't answer his question. Doyle wanted to chase after Yanwu but was stopped by Khan. He hit Khan's back to question, brother, what are you doing? But was yelled at by Khan. Sit down. Doyle cried out, tell me why you did that. Even though he doesn't trust us, he's still good to us. Khan angrily yelled again, I told you, sit down. He looked at Doyle in distress. Khan explained to him that's what's best for us. And him. Doyle didn't understand, asking again. What? Khan comforted him. Don't you see this? Doyle could only silently accept. Suddenly I looked into a corner, making Doyle also pay attention. The two of them suddenly saw a sword stuck in the ground. Doyle was surprised. Wait, that is Khan. Immediately cut in. Yes, that's Arangdan's mark. He expressed his thoughts. In fact, I think it's a bit strange. Why does Arangdan always say to maintain order in the tutorial floor, but they do the opposite of what they said? They reasoned that they needed a large number of new players, but people like us know that those behind Arangdan are one of the biggest guilds in the tower. Their guild values chivalry and worships swordsmanship and courage. Of course, they always have many ways to attract new recruits, and they can get anyone they need.